Hey, I would just say start maybe with like, hey, can I slither into your chamber of secrets? Like that's just the open.
We are the Broke Force Squad podcast, coming at you for our second year at Hogwarts in the Wizarding World to give you another world-famous movie commentary on Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. As always, I'm your host, Brian Banner. Tonight I've got our legal counsel with me, Ronnie Cycli, because, really, I'm not allowed to go anywhere without adult supervision. Ronnie, we've got our movies paused at about the 9-second mark, right? Warner Brothers is about to be up.
That is the truth. Are you ready for this? Because this is going to be pretty contentious.
It's going to be interesting because I absolutely hate this movie, and I can't believe you're making me do it. While everybody gets synced up here, Ronnie, I know that you also built a school in your day. Did you hide anything specific in the walls?
Yeah, I did, but unfortunately, a court told me I'm not allowed within 100 yards of that school. So
it's really weird that you were able to build a school, but you can't actually visit it.
Yeah, it's just misjudgment on my part, really.
Huh. Interesting.
I thought I would be allowed in front of a school if I built it, but the laws don't agree with that.
Not even your own school.
Not even your own school.
Huh. Well, with that being said, we are again, we're at the 9-second mark here. So if you guys are ready, we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. Is there anything more iconic than Hedwig's theme?
It's up there. You and I have talked about this. Jurassic Park is up there. Hedwig's theme is I don't know how you go back and forth between themes of epic movies.
There's nothing that just gets you jacked up and ready to do a Harry Potter movie than that song.
I am really glad they kept it for Fantastic Beasts.
I am too. I think that they had to. And I'm glad that they didn't overplay it in that.
Yeah. No, they just need to be, they can't do too much so as the original Harry Potters or anything. They need to be their own franchise. Even though technically it's the same, but.
Yeah.
This is, look at this. Got to start from the beginning.
Yeah. It's fine.
Corniness is there. The corniness is there. Don't you sit in your room and look at photo albums?
Yeah, when totally, man. Just all the time.
Mine were the Victoria's Secret photo albums.
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old.
Yeah, mine was actually the JCPenney's catalog.
Yeah, your family really couldn't afford the Victoria's Secret subscription, could they?
Yeah, it was against everything that they went against. The dialogue in this movie is just really bad, man.
It's very cookie cutter. It's very just.
I just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Can I just say something that feels off? You and I usually do these commentaries for our listeners who don't know that Brian and I do these next to each other, sitting on the couch, cuddled up. And tonight, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it over, and I feel really alone right now. I feel kind of naked.
Well, you should feel alone because you like this movie, and it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Whoa, you're going to go, okay, I'll give you that it's one of the worst Harry Potter movies. You hate it to that level?
No, I don't hate it to that level.
You're just going to be extreme on me, aren't you?
I am.
I just felt this is the result again of you getting Chris Columbus, who came in, we talked about this on the first one, did a good job of really kind of portraying the happiness of the book, it's very friendly, it's very clean, and he definitely continued it on this level. You can see, obviously, when we watch the third one, the difference, but I'm glad that this is the last one that he did. There was rumors that he was going to come back for a couple of movies, and that he wanted to come back for a couple of movies, and I, for one, am really glad he didn't.
Yeah.
Not just he's a talented director, it's just not the direction the books were going.
No, they needed to grow and adult up with their audience, and that was something that he was incapable of doing.
Yeah.
Again, he did fine in this, I suppose. It just, I don't know. The writing is really bad. I think the dialogue is bad. I think the story is bad, which I think that this is easily the weakest. Even just going to the books, weakest story that J.K. Rowling did. How was he not more freaked out that some fucking weird elf just shows up in his room?
I mean, first of all, like, we didn't realize how epic Dobby was going to be when we first read the book or saw this movie, probably. Dobby, I remember when I first read the book, like, was so fucking infuriating. They're like, dude, you're trying to help the guy, but you're doing everything contrary. I truly believed at one point he was, like, a mole of Draco Malfoy. Like, he was truly bad. He was tricking Harry. Because he was so terrible at what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. How did you like the character? Is he one of the things you don't like about Chamber?
Honestly, he's fine. He's fine in this one. I have no qualms with him in Chamber of Secrets. I think once we get to, sorry, there's a storm outside of my house in real life, and I'm looking at the radar.
I was gonna say, are you hearing? You might be hearing thunder.
I'm hearing the thunder, and I just looked at the radar, and it looks like a giant penis just coming straight at us.
Fully erect, or is it getting there?
It's like a 3/4 chub. Yeah, I'm fine with Dobby in this movie. I like his character.
I mean, you like Dobby as a character as a whole, though.
As a whole, I love him. In the books, in the movies, they had to cut something out, and they cut him out, which I didn't think was fair because he played such a huge role. We didn't feel his demise as much as we probably should have.
Yeah, because that
movies.
Was so. Spoilers. If you haven't seen or read the 7th one, what are you doing here?
It's fine. Just hang out with us. You'll learn some stuff. We'll get more into this as we get in the movie. This whole part, I'm fine with. Dobby's part. Dobby punishing himself, I think, is fine. This is the first time we get introduced to house elves, which, again, in the movies they had to cut something out, and I think this was an easy thing to cut out, even though house elves in general play a huge role in the books.
Yeah, and we talked about this a couple of times. The house elf story really, in my opinion, would come in handy for an HBO miniseries style Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Not in a movie, you can't. There's just too much writing. There's just too much time, and you can't. Nowadays, people don't have the attention span. You're not going to do a 3.5, 4-hour movie.
Yeah, I would love them to do 8 seasons of a Harry Potter show. HBO, make it. It doesn't have to be like Game of Thrones style, but like a PG-13 kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And each season is a year.
Yeah, you can't convince me there aren't followers, like lovers of the books enough that wouldn't have record-setting numbers. I mean, Harry Potter is still everywhere today.
Oh, yeah. It's not going away anytime soon. Again, I would just be like, what am I on right now to be seeing this elf with these big-ass yellow eyes staring at me that's just like...
Yeah, but, Brian, that's a constant question you're always asking yourself. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's true.
I would be so pissed off. I was like... One complaint I remember okay, so I'll tell you really quickly why I have a special place in my heart for a Chamber of Secrets. Now, I will be full on admit that it's not the best movie or it's not the best books of the Harry Potter franchise. But back in 1999, 2000, when their Harry Potter books were starting to come out, I was a 11-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid. I thought it was cool not to read, right? Like, everyone, like, Mom, I'm not a nerd. I don't want to go to the library and all that kind of shit. And my mom bought me the first 2 Harry Potter books. And she's like, oh, I've heard these are really good. Everyone really likes them. And, of course, I'm just like, no, Mom, that's stupid. It's about a stupid fucking wizard. I'm not going to read that. And so I did it to
this bitch deserved to get a pie dropped on her face. Just saying.
I know, but, dude, that's just a waste of cake. That looks awesome. So I tried reading the first one for like 5 minutes just to appease my mom, and I purposely hated it. But so months went on, or maybe another year, and we're on this family vacation when we're in the home country of Lebanon, and I have nothing else to do there 2 months. So I pick up Chamber of Secrets because I had already convinced myself I didn't like the Sorcerer's Stone. And man, I could not put Chamber of Secrets down. I went nuts. I fell in love with it. I begged my parents to go to a bookstore in Beirut to buy the third one. I read the third one, then the fourth one came out that summer, and I was at that moment just a Harry Potter nerd for the rest of my life.
You were hooked.
Funny enough, I didn't ever go back to read the first one until after the fourth one. So for me, Chamber of Secrets, in an odd way, is actually what started it all for me. So it's just
really
special.
Weird because I honestly think it's the weakest story. I think it's the one that plays into a lot of like magic tropes, if you will, like a goddamn flying car. It's so stupid. It's stupid.
I mean, is it stupid? See, I don't know. I get why not have a flying car?
Because like, what else in this wizarding world do they have that shit like that happens?
I mean, everywhere. I mean, everything, right? Like, I mean, you can get, if you want to get outrageous about the magic, then we're just talking about the world she created. But in this world, you don't think they could have flying cars?
No, I don't think. I think it's dumb that they have a flying car. I think if they had multiple flying cars, that's fine. But they have
but cars are technically
flying
illegal.
car.
Remember, that's the thing. It's illegal. But Ron's dad is like, he's a gangster. He doesn't give a shit about the law.
I still think it's dumb.
No, I think you're dumb.
He's a Skyberg.
That's my thing. Like, though, as a kid, though, I mean, I loved it. I remember just being like, just loving this idea of an escape, and I don't know, the whole Arthur creating the car and getting him punished for it.
I don't know. I still think it's dumb.
Also, man, he's lucky. With that kind of weight, Uncle Vernon's carrying.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't at least, like, he's able to stand back up here. I don't know how he didn't at least, like, crack a rib. Like, he's going to be down for a while.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, I would be selling that. I'd be calling for a red card right there.
And it just happens to be his birthday when they... Come on. We did that in the last book.
That's your problem?
Can we not get more creative?
That's the whole reason. See, the movie doesn't really address it. What had been happening was, for like 2 months or a month into summer vacation, they've been writing letters and trying to contact him. And, obviously Dobby's been hiding the letters. They haven't heard anything. And then Ron's dad goes and tells him, oh, Harry got in trouble. He got alerted by the Minister of Magic that he did magic at the home. So there was a lot of suspicion. That's why they went, because they didn't know. He hadn't responded, and he's doing magic, which is obviously Dobby. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. They're like, it's his fucking birthday. Let's go save him. Let's go see what's up.
No, I think it's dumb. I do like the Weasley's house here. I do think...
Our first look at a wizard's house.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with this. They did do this justice as far as what the book kind of... what they showed us in the book and what they told us. They really did a good job of going page to screen here.
That clock is really troublesome. Like, let's just say you're somewhere you're not supposed to be. That clock gives you away, man.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely a clock that you don't want.
Hey, sweetie, I'm at the gym. Then why does the clock say you're at the bar?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would just put a piece of Scotch tape over where it says gym, and in Sharpie it just says, or over bar, and it just says gym. And then she's like, so why is there 2 gyms here?
Oh, no, one's my client, Jim.
Right. One is Jim Jimsting.
Jim Jimston. Also, our first real look at Ginny. She was in the, 5 seconds of Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, you can't even count that. I don't even know that she's credited. My jumper.
My jumper. Isn't it a jumper a jacket? I have no idea.
I always thought it was like long tights, like underwear. Like it goes under a dress.
Maybe. I don't know. I remember Ron's voice is the most distinct puberty change here in this movie. It definitely dropped a couple octaves.
Yeah, Harry's doesn't really drop until the 4th one. And it's pretty bad. I think it's really funny that Ron's dad works in the misuse of Muggle artifacts, and yet that's what he does.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, he admits that. They always get onto him about that.
I still think.
Remember, in one of the
I
books,
feel like the Ministry of Magic should have better background checks, though.
I feel like I remember in the books. I don't think in the movies. He literally once said, "If I ever raided my house, I'd have to arrest myself."
The rubber duck.
Well, like that's just a dead end job. Like obviously, I like that they show you he's poor. I'm like, who the fuck would take that job?
See, I think that's dumb too. Oh, we're just gonna have an owl that runs into the glass.
Yeah, in the books, he is old. It's just, I will say this, it goes back to Chris Columbus. It's just done in a really cheap way, in a really childish way. This movie, like the first movie, is filmed for an 11-year-old and 12-year-olds.
I get that. The first one, it introduces us to everything. This one, I mean, granted, yeah, okay, we're like 10 minutes in, but this has yet to give me anything to the greater picture, the greater story.
You're about to be introduced to flu powder.
Yeah, because that matters so fucking much.
And we get, coming up, we get the not Isaac Hayes, what's his name? Not the Draco's dad.
Oh, Lucius Malfoy?
Yeah, but the real actor, the famous actor.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. Also, Flu Powder seems like a very, like...
Jason Isaacs. I knew Isaac was in there.
Flu Powder seems like a very, like, inconsistent way of traveling. Because he says diagonally, which obviously isn't Diagon Alley, but he ends up in Nocturne Alley. Not even close to the same.
Yeah, it's a very inefficient way to travel.
Yes, it just doesn't seem... It seems stupid. And it is stupid, because this whole movie is stupid.
Yeah, like, what if you have, like, accents? You know, like...
Exactly.
Is it dialect? I mean, how does it understand? It should be, like, the intention.
Just, the whole thing is stupid.
And also, like, yeah, you arrive at your destination, but you're covered in soot. Like, that just doesn't seem...
Well, and I hate that I'm going to defend this, but they talk about this in the book, like... He starts coughing in the middle of going through, and he, like, breathes it all in, and that's why he's all fucked up. It doesn't normally happen like that.
Wow. Because I was going to say, like, man, you're going to go to, like, this nice... You're going to a nice dinner on a date, and you go flu powder, and then you're just like, man, just dirtied up.
Did that make you jump the first time you saw it in theaters?
Yeah.
Dude, it made me jump. Honestly, until, like... Maybe a couple years ago, every time I watched it, I jumped. It's kind of like in The Sixth Sense, where the kid walks, or the dead dude walks behind Haley Joel Osment when he's taking a piss. I jump every time.
Oh yeah, I do too. Absolutely. There's stuff I can see. Like, we were watching a scary movie. We watched a couple scary movies the last couple nights, just because it's... I don't know when you're listening to this, but when we're recording this, we're around Halloween, and. Man, I'm expecting a jump, and it still happens. If you watch a good movie, especially a good movie.
Yeah, we go through our little Halloween montage of movies that we watch, and it doesn't matter. I still jump every time. So
we never do that. I mean, like, I would love... who knows how far they're going to go into, like, the Harry Potter world expansion with the, they're doing the whole Crimes and Grindelwald thing. But I'm intrigued with, like, Nocturne Alley, and there's other stories you can tell. And
that's your HBO rated R shit right
there. There's
there.
Something going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, like, they, like, legitimately have a dingy street. Like, hey, don't go over there.
Yeah. It's not even that hard to get to, though, which is even funnier. It's literally like, make a left between the bookstore and the owl shop.
Shouldn't there be a bouncer? Like, hey, gotta be 21 to enter here. And then this is a big problem to me here in about a couple seconds.
When she uses magic?
Yeah, what the fuck?
She can't. I know it. See? This movie just doesn't make any fucking sense, man.
Okay, so do you feel this way about the book, or is it the movie? Is it both?
It's both. I feel more strongly about the movie. Gilderoy Lockhart is the dumbest character in the history of characters.
Oh, but I love it. I love
no, don't even get me started.
It's like fun dumb. I mean,
no, it's not. It's stupid. You have a guy, which again we'll learn more about his character later, but basically, hey, I'm this great wizard because I can make everybody forget everything, but yet I literally can't do any other magic. You got to be kidding me. No.
He's just been getting away with his charm and his lies for so long that he never was a competent wizard. Dude, there are people like that all over this world. I know plenty of people like that where I've worked.
No. He hasn't gotten by that. Every story that he wrote about is somebody else's story. He put a spell on them so they would forget that they did it.
Right.
That takes some talented magic.
Yeah, he says he even admits he's a pro in that.
Okay. To be that good at that, don't you think you should be able to do, I don't know, literally anything else in magic? And he cannot do anything?
I don't know. Maybe it's on the movie that shows that he can't do anything. I think the book shows that he's just scared. He knows he can't win, so he doesn't want to actually do anything. Not to say he's not capable of some spells.
Okay. We'll pause this argument for a later time because we'll get to it. Because there are several times where he should be able to do magic and he can't do that.
Yeah, I think that's on the movie. Yeah. Also, Ron's wearing that sweater, man. I just want a sweater once in my life that has the first letter of my name.
I know. And do they not look so fucking warm?
Oh, God. You gotta be. Look at that Draco ripping a page out of a book out.
Yo, Draco, I'm not going to lie. I like Draco.
Yeah. Of course, we're Slytherins.
We are Slytherins.
And then, like, Harry, like, no one even, like, tried to clean him up.
No.
He just looked like a homeless
like, hey, go to the bathroom and, like, rinse off or something. And honestly, even Ron looks a little dingy right now.
Yeah, that's just because they're poor gingers.
That's true.
I love this. So, like, I guess Jason Isaacs here, he watched the first one. He obviously hadn't read any of the books when he was cast. He knew how big it was. And then he just watched the first one to see that who his character was the father of. And he improvised a lot of the bullying he does to Draco in these scenes. Like, he kind of, like, I don't know if it's in just this one, but he does it throughout. He kind of, like, hits him or makes fun of him to his face. And he said he did that on purpose to show they weren't expecting him to do that at all. Show why Draco's so angry.
Arthur Weasley's hat's stupid too.
That's because they're poor. They can't afford nice stuff.
Just don't wear a fucking hat then.
He's embarrassed. He's balding.
Stupid.
You tell Geiger, who's fat and bald, not to cover himself up.
I mean, he runs around without a shirt on half the time anyway.
Like, yeah, but I think you're lying, man. Like, look, they're all covered in soot. Like, it's not just Harry. It's the flu powder. That's a horrible way to travel.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think that's the movie. I don't think it's like that.
I don't think it's like that in the books.
Because how else do you travel around with family? I wish we have gotten to see more of him. Because I felt like in the book that Draco's dad was a bigger character. Not like huge or anything like that, but he's such a big time actor. Like, it would have been fun to see him in a basketball.
He really didn't get to flex his muscles.
No. We get him in the 5th movie, and we
what
get him in
he's capable of, but...
Yeah. Draco's like, see you at school. I'm like, here. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, we'll hang out.
Oh, and again, the stupid car. Okay, and here's another thing. Okay, everybody... Okay, well, I'll wait a minute then, I guess, before we get there.
I'm excited. You have this bill stuff ready to go.
Okay, everybody's going to make it through the barrier here. And if I'm them, your kids are going to go first. You're not going to just leave your kids in the middle of fucking London.
Yeah, that. I would agree with that. But that happened in the book. I think they were so nervous about being... In the book, again, they're running so late. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I remember that. And then
they like turn
Ron
around,
is like, "Oh, I'm gonna run into you too and fly over the handlebars, and oh, it's so dramatic." Oh.
And they were worried about Ginny's. That's why they went on and with her. I love that kid, like the tenant. He's like, "You fucking kids."
I know. Oh, and honestly, I wouldn't even be worried that they ran into the thing. I'd be like, where the fuck did you get an owl from?
Yeah, who walks around with an owl?
Yeah,
who?
that's the bigger question here is who has an owl? How do you get an owl?
Who?
Oh, I see what you did there.
I remember the first time I read the book, and before we even knew why the barrier was closed, I honestly thought maybe it was once the train leaves, the barrier closes. And technically they were late by like 5 seconds.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, obviously that's not.
I still think, and to make it go invisible, you hit a button? No.
What's wrong with the button?
Where's the magic? If anything, that's just science.
Who cares? You can't tell me that magic hasn't advanced some science and they can find invisibility.
You can't tell me that in every other instance, magic has to have some sort of initiated by some sort of wand or some sort of something like that. And
yeah,
yet,
but we're seeing it from a kid's perspective. They're learning.
And yet,
we get to see that
they just hit a button and they go invisible. No, it does not. It does not go along with the theme and the story and the facts that we see not only in the previous book but in subsequent books after this. It just doesn't fit in with all the other ones. And Hedwig's eyes getting all big right here, no.
Yeah, no. Again, that goes back to the very
It's very Christopher Columbus-y.
Yeah. It's just it's very childish, very corny. But still don't hate it. And
I will say this, and I think I said this in our Sorcerer's Stone review. I think that the CGI and the graphics in these first two are really bad. They don't hold up. I think once you get into the third, fourth, and obviously the later ones, they really do hold up, and they are really good.
I will 100% agree with you on the graphics here in the first two. I don't see it as much in the rest, but yeah, it's much more apparent. And I don't know, again, if that just goes with what Chris Columbus was trying to have as the feel. Like he wanted to feel more natural or something. I'm not sure. But you can definitely see so much green screen in these. You can tell when things
almost embarrassing how bad it is.
Embarrassing for who? It made $1 billion.
No, this one did not make $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, if you adjust for inflation.
I don't think so.
It made 700.
This wasn't that long ago. This one was what? 2002 is when this one came out?
This was 2001, yeah.
2001? Okay. So, 17 years ago? Can you believe that we're coming up on the 20-year anniversary of these movies coming out?
No, look, this got 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. And 82% of people that rated it on Rotten Tomatoes are dumb.
Box office made $879 million.
All right, so maybe it made more than I thought it should have.
I'm just saying, even if you're right, you are right. Again, I think it's the worst of the movies. But that shows me why any Harry Potter anything will be successful, especially a series on HBO. I'm really trying to get HBO to listen to this podcast and start it.
Well, we'll tweet at HBO here once this one drops.
Fuck, I'll get a subscription to Showtime. I'm not above that.
Stars?
Wow. I mean, I would. Is that even still a thing?
Yeah, I think Stars is still a thing. I think they have a deal with Hulu though.
This is also terrible again in terms of
bad. And I think it's really dumb. Again, in my opinion, there's a lot of things in this movie they're like, "Oh no, it's precursors for later on." Maybe it is, but it just seems very convenient that it literally means nothing in this movie. And then later on, it's this big deal. The Whomping Willow being one of them.
See, but that's the beauty of her writing. To kids on campus, it's always been, hey, there's this tree. And we saw it early. I would agree with you if we saw it in the third book. Like, that's where we were introduced about the Whomping Willow. Because I'd be sitting here going, why didn't we ever hear about this tree before?
Why did we not hear about it in the first one if it's always been there and we're learning about Hogwarts and all its mysteries? That's a big fucking deal.
Hogwarts is huge. So, like, in the fourth Harry Potter book, Dumbledore makes a reference to the Room of Requirement. We don't see the Room of Requirement until the fifth one. See, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's different. The Room of Requirement isn't something that, like, everybody knows about. Everybody fucking knows about the Whomping Willow. Everybody knows about the Shrieking Shack, which we get introduced to it in the one book that it matters. Huh.
But
weird.
The thing is, like, you're not going to get, it's like the people who say, oh, Harry never went to the bathroom the entire series. Why was she right about that?
Because it's important. We need to know every bowel movement that Harry Potter has.
Maybe
it's magic. Maybe that's part of being magic. You don't actually go to the bathroom when you're magic.
I just need to know if he's regular or not.
Also, how would Hagrid have not seen a fucking blue car that shined its brights into his window? Like, oh, there's a car coming. It's dumb.
No,
and now all of a sudden the car has its own like brain and can think for itself and runs away.
Okay, first of all, can I say you already answered your Hagrid question in the first one? He's in there getting baked out of his mind.
That's true.
He said that's all he does in that hut.
That's true.
Hotboxing in that hut.
I'll give you that one. But
he's like,
you can't tell me. You can't tell me that. Oh, this car, nothing has ever gone wrong with this car. Then all of a sudden, all it is a button to make it invisible, and they hit this button, and it becomes invisible, and then now it has a mind of its own and kicks them out? Nah.
He's pissed at them. They were abusive. Also, I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, man, Alan Rickman gained some weight.
He did. He got a little chubby for this one. I think it's his hair, too.
Yeah, his cheeks were definitely thicker.
It's not quite as greasy as it needs to be.
Yeah. I mean... It's interesting. I love Alan Rickman and will never criticize his performance. I thought he was unbelievable. But technically speaking, Snape is supposed to be Harry's parents' age. So like Alan Rickman was like actually like 30 years older.
Yeah, he was way older.
I mean, and again, he was worth that error. I don't give a shit. Like, you have a chance for him to play this, you do it.
They also made, because Sirius is the same way, Gary Oldman, and again, a fantastic casting. They stuck with the age group that they cast all of those with, even though they aren't necessarily true to being young
and I have
parents.
No problem with that.
No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. People always said stuff like that online. I'm like, no, look, you have Alan Rickman who nails it. Why do you give a shit about his age? I will always commend the Harry Potter movies, whether like you feel about this one, it's not the best, or whether it is a great movie.
No, it's
just the casting. Movie. The casting is... I can't think of, like, maybe Lord of the Rings is up there, but I feel like
they did a good job. The thing that you have to really give them credit when credit is due, with the exception of this movie, is kid actors. We talk about all the time on the pod how they're so hard to cast. They had to cast so many kid actors in this that had to be reoccurring all the way through, and they really did a good job of...
There was one kid, and that was like, what, Crab or something, that got arrested for, like, marijuana possession.
Something like that, but then he came back later.
Yeah, he came back later. He was absent for, like, 2 movies. And it was marijuana. It wasn't like our Lindsay Lohan doing, like, crack, you know, and doing all sorts of things, or... And then, like, you've mentioned this, Daniel Radcliffe, drinking. Yeah, because that's something we don't do over here. Hey, what are you doing over there right now, Banner?
I'm not drinking in October.
Yeah, I'm not drinking either. Cheers.
See, so you're telling me that they talk about things in earlier books or movies than in the one that we're introduced where it matters. Where do they talk about mandrakes?
Well, this is when he's learning about... They talk about mandrakes throughout the rest of the movies.
Oh, but then all of a sudden, this is the only time that they need it? Is in this movie?
No, they use mandrakes in the 7th one.
Oh, because it's just convenient that it's there. And we can throw them over the wall.
What does that even mean?
It's stupid is what it is. This movie is stupid.
So you're telling me in your life, something is either constant there all the time, and you always use it.
No.
There's never anything in your life that you come back to 5 years later. It's almost a throwaway
line in the 7th. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to hurdle these over. It's not like, hey, this is a big plot
But they use mandrakes in this.
In this one, they do, and they introduce it in this one.
Yeah, and they use mandrakes later.
No, they don't.
So they do.
They don't.
So what's wrong with using something you like? You don't. You still use stuff you learned in 11th grade. I don't come up and show you at work like, hey, Brian, you used that in 11th grade. You haven't used it in 10 years.
First off, been out of 11th grade, not 10 years. It's been about 4. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting all the folks know how many times I failed high school.
This is awkward. You're hanging out with the age gap between all of us seems a little weird now.
Yeah, it's just because also, you can't tell me that they don't have like a wand that he can borrow. He's got to use fucking Scotch tape.
No, his parents are punishing him.
His parents don't even know that it's broken yet.
That's probably true. Yeah.
This kid's annoying too. Again, he never comes back.
He does come back. He dies.
In the movies?
No, in the books.
Okay. So wait, what are we watching the book right now?
I wish we were watching the book.
No.
HBO, get on that.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's Errol again doing his like really corny.
Yeah. I do like the potato chips everywhere. I bet that the house elves make some of the best fucking food ever.
Man, again, you and I talked about this on the first one. I don't care. We'll mention it on all of them. How much do you want to eat a meal there?
I would look like Geiger if I just spent a week there.
And I don't know, a week. It would take a month to look like Geiger. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Man, how many of these would you have gotten in high school if this existed in our world?
To be honest with you, probably a metric fuck ton.
I thought you were going to say 0 because you got away with it, like you hid it from your parents.
Oh, no.
I would have gotten one for, like, literally getting a B+.
You weren't my lawyer back then, so I couldn't have got away with anything. I never got away with anything.
Is this something anyone can send? Can you imagine how many people would break up in high school using those kind of letters?
I would send, like... What if you, like, send a dick pic through one of them?
An angry dick pic?
Yeah, like a cock dick?
like a cock dick.
Like a cock dick. See, this is so fucking stupid. Right here. All right. So he's going through all this stuff that he supposedly did, which we know he didn't. Correct? Or not?
We don't know that yet.
Okay. We've seen the movie. We've read the book. Has he done all these things, or does he not have done all these things?
No, he hasn't done any of these things.
Okay. But
he has won the best smile in Witch Weekly, though. That is something he definitely did.
All right. I'll give you that one. So he's done all these things, and he made all the people that actually did those things forget that they did those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure we've established that. So we can say he is a pretty skilled wizard.
He's skilled at doing one thing. Like,
No. Is he a skilled wizard?
No.
When? How? Okay, at what age or what year at Hogwarts do they learn how to make people forget shit?
I don't know. We probably the 6th or 7th.
Well, it's probably the 6th because we know Hermione can do it year 7, which they're not at Hogwarts. I mean,
that's just Hermione's just advanced, man.
Okay, so probably
also,
year 7.
The point of this lesson.
So probably year 7. So you've got to be pretty advanced to do that. But yet,
I don't think it's an advancing. I think it's more of the seriousness of the matter. Like, you don't teach little kids that. Okay. Also, I just don't understand the point of this lesson. Like, hey, we're going to teach you how to deal with Cornish pixies.
Yeah, but he can't teach them because he doesn't know because he's incompetent. But yet, he can make people forget stuff.
Yeah, but I know plenty of people who are really good at one thing and terrible at everything else.
No, but to get to that point, it builds on this. Magic isn't like, oh, I'm really good at math, but I can't read. It's different.
I don't know. Maybe
it's like
there's plenty of people who are good at math can't read.
It's cycling. You're a good lawyer, but you suck at driving. They have nothing to do with each other.
Wait, what did you say I sucked at? You cut out.
Driving.
How many accidents have I been in? That's all that matters, bro.
Been in and caused are two different things. Just gonna throw that out there.
I guess I'll never know how many accidents I caused behind me. I don't look.
Yeah, that's because you're going 80 miles an hour through a school zone.
Yeah, man, I gotta go where I gotta go. Remember, I'm only running through a school zone like that because I'm not allowed in within 100 yards.
It's true. You're late for work, and that's the only way to get there. Look, I'm just saying, if I've got two Quidditch teams like trying to draft me, I'm definitely going to the Slytherins. They're sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, they get the best shit, man.
Yeah, they're like Oregon.
And they can't. And Harry, like, or is it Hermione here in a couple seconds? Like, they bitch about them all getting Nimbus 2001s. Harry literally was given the Nimbus 2000 by a teacher.
Yeah.
Like Harry's dad. I mean, Draco's dad got him a gift. But a teacher, that just seems way against the rules.
I mean, the teacher's trying to keep him quiet.
Oh, Hermione with the boom.
I know. It's not this one. It's the next one that Hermione starts to get me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still young.
Yeah.
But again, as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old watching the movies, I definitely already had a crush, though.
Oh, for sure. Like, I don't feel bad about saying this or not.
Yeah, we were 11. That's okay.
I'm sure I've said this story before. I've heard this. So when this movie first came out, I remember Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert and Emma Watson were all on. I don't remember Rupert's last name. So Gint, Grint, whatever. Ron, Harry, and Hermione were all on Oprah, and Ron brought Oprah a slug because they were actually flavored like cherry and apple, and there was a chocolate one. Yeah, so like they put this like syrup stuff on them, and they were just rubber, and so he could hold it in his mouth because it didn't taste bad, and he would literally just have to hold it in his mouth, and then he would pretend throw them up.
Pick it up. Dude, I feel like I would just want to do like chocolatey. I would eat them.
Yeah.
And I love how they go to Hagrid here for help, but they don't do it. Like, I guarantee if they went to the hospital wing, they would just have a smell that would counteract it. Instead, they go to Hagrid, whose advice is, here's a bucket. Just throw it up until it's done.
Like, okay, here's another thing I don't like about this story. All right, so Mudblood is this awful thing.
Well, you can't
right?
say that.
It's this terrible thing, right?
Only our people can say that.
Okay, sorry. So the M word, only, like, it's this really, really bad thing to say, right?
Right, yeah.
Hermione was raised by Muggles, correct?
Yeah.
So was Harry, right?
Yep.
Where did Hermione learn what Mudblood was?
The same way we learned all the terms we learned in middle school.
Okay, but Hermione and Harry have pretty much been inseparable at school, so wouldn't one learn it if the other one didn't?
I think Harry's just an ignorant little kid. Hermione's knows. Remember, Hermione reads everything she can.
Okay, what book has? Hey, this is a slang word
really, go read a
for
historical
Half-Blood.
book. There's plenty of racist terms in our world that you can read a historical.
I am
book.
sorry, but I've never read a history textbook that has the N word in it.
So you were never forced to read the Huckleberry Finn?
Not the one that says the N word. It's always edited.
But the N word's all over that book. I'm just saying Hermione is a very educated woman. She does her studies. She does her research.
I think it's stupid. Nope, doesn't make sense. Stupid.
You already saw it in the first movie. Hermione did so much research before she went to school. She already knew. She was already reading everything she could.
It's dumb.
You're dumb. Ugh. See, Harry is dumb and ignorant. I understand why he doesn't.
This is stupid too. What kind of a punishment? Like, you're telling me that Harry would know how to sign Lockhart's exact signature, and that's his punishment?
Wait. The punishment is having to be in there and do that.
Right.
What is this?
He's helping him sign his fan mail.
Yeah, but Gilderoy Lockhart made that his punishment. Harry hated this.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, how can Harry do Gilderoy Lockhart's signature?
Yeah, the fans don't know what his signature looks like.
Okay, if you got one and I got one and they look different, what are we going to say?
Are we comparing our Gilderoy Lockhart autographs?
Probably. If he's that big of a deal.
Maybe there's a magical spell on the pen.
I don't know. I'm going to pee real quick because this is an important part coming up.
I mean, yeah, go at it, man.
You lock it down. Just remember, this movie's stupid.
You're stupid. All right, finally, the weak link of the podcast is gone. The hater, Brian Banner, doesn't understand a genius like J.K. Rowling, doesn't understand the genius that is Chamber of Secrets. But here we get our first hint of something really dark and mysterious going on. And I remember when I was 12 years old reading this book. This is really where I started getting intrigued in the story. Obviously, what we've had the last, I don't know how long we've been watching, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, just been kind of filler, getting reintroduced to the school again, getting excited about the adventure. But this is a much darker story, in my opinion, than Sorcerer's Stone. I mean, from right here, we're about to see... That's what it told me about, Harry Potter was going in a darker direction. Everyone really says the darkness takes over starting in Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, but it's definitely not that dark, but you see it here. You see a big difference between Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. And, I mean, writing on the wall in blood, definitely something that maybe wasn't reflected the best by Christopher Columbus, but that's pretty damn dark. You got to admit.
It's stupid. It's not that dark.
I didn't say it was that dark. I'm saying the comparison. There is a difference in darkness, though, between Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, I'll give you
much.
This one definitely starts to get darker. We deal with some death. I'll give you this one's darker. It's still stupid.
The creepy snake and blood on the wall and people getting petrified. I'm just saying, I don't think the movie did it as much justice. I think it's more Christopher Columbus doing what he did for the first movie, instead of just trying something a little new or going in a different direction. He literally made it the exact same way. He didn't try anything different with this movie. And I think if you had someone else filming this, then I think you could have.
Why is the cat hanging on a hook?
Yeah, did the snake put it there?
Well, no, I don't know, because Jenny couldn't have put it there because she's not tall enough to reach the hook. Also, here's another big thing that I have.
Whoa, she's possessed and she can do the Wingardium Leviosa spell. It's not that hard.
She can't do this is the first week of school. She doesn't learn that. She's the first year.
The movies always do a bad job of showing time. I think this is Halloween.
No, it's not. This is his punishment for being late to school.
But in the books, it's Halloween, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not. It's the first week of school.
And that's why I'm saying the movie doesn't do a good job of showing that. That's on the movie, and you're right. That's why the movie is stupid.
See? The movie is stupid.
Right there, I'm just saying, it didn't reflect that.
Also, here's my other thing. Again, if you haven't seen this movie, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. But the snake, the basilisk snake, is fucking huge. You can't tell me it wouldn't, knock over a lamp or something as it's walking through the halls.
I mean, I don't... It just goes to the pipes. It's not coming out through...
Those are some big-ass fucking pipes, then. And it's got to come out sometime to see people.
Old. He knows how to control himself.
No. The size of the snake versus the size of... the pipes aren't pipes. They're like fucking 4-foot drainage ditches.
Maybe the snake wasn't as big as the movie showed. I don't know. Or how big are these pipes? That's what I want to see.
That's what I'm saying. If the pipes are fucking drainage ditches that are helping, New Orleans not flood during Katrina, then okay, I get it.
Dude, Snake just gave some side eye right there. I don't know if you saw that.
There's what's his name? Frey in
Walter Frey.
Yeah.
It's good to see he got a job at Hogwarts.
Yeah, I mean, he needed something.
There are so many characters in both of them.
I think those are the only two things I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, I mean, he's in other stuff. I think that's his big role.
Yeah, I think he's a lot bigger in Europe, too. Obviously, we're in the States.
A lot of these actors, I think you and I talked about that before, especially Vernon Dursley, Kenneth Branagh, who plays Lockhart in this one. They're huge theater actors. They're very like massive, famous theater actors who, maybe were in a couple movies, but they're really known for, being on Broadway and stuff like that.
Which is cool that they got him to agree to do a movie like this.
Yeah.
Not just a movie, a franchise.
I mean, Kenneth Branagh's doing a lot of stuff. I mean, he just did the Murder on the
Orient Express. He directed, executive produced, and starred in that, and I thought he did fantastic.
Yeah, he really did.
He deserved an Oscar, I thought.
I was surprised he didn't even get a nom. Did he get nominated?
I think he got nominated.
Okay.
I think he got nominated for director or maybe adapted screenplay.
Yeah, I can't remember. He didn't get nominated for something I thought he deserved to.
Yeah.
Transfiguration, man.
I'm starting to think that Ron smokes a lot of weed too.
Oh, dude, they have to.
I'm starting to think that because he was like the only one that was super impressed, and then he's like, "I got this," even though we all know he doesn't have this.
Dude, how fucked up would that cup be? You got like a cup half rat.
That I feel like that's like animal cruelty.
So in the books, McGonagall, this scene is not with McGonagall. It's with the ghost professor. Professor Binns.
Professor Binns.
Yeah, and we never see him in the movies.
No. Again, it's kind of like the house elves. If there's a character that you have to, or a storyline that you have to cut out, that's another easy one to cut out.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I understand why. To me, it's funny because the McGonagall we truly know would never actually do this in a class. She would never disrupt her class to talk about gossip. No. But, it makes sense in the movie. Like, it gives her screen time when she didn't have that much.
And she deserves it. She's a phenomenal actress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it. I remember, again, this is one of those things that people would come up to me in conversation. We would talk and be like, oh, it's so different than the movie, than the book. Like I love the books and I love the movies. I never walk away from the movie upset that it's not the book. Do I want the book? Yes, more than anything. But
I've said this a lot.
The movie for not being.
I've said this a lot. On this podcast, we do a lot of comic books movies. We love comic books. We love comic book movies. I do not want a comic book movie to be exactly word for word the comic book itself. Yeah. That's the whole point of these movies and these stories is give your little spin on it. We have the high points. You fill in the blanks and even change some of the high points to fit your agenda. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that this movie and the book are just stupid. Everything about it.
Everything.
I don't think that anything that happens in this book isn't an afterthought.
Yeah, but
that adds later on. Like, oh, well, I'm going to use this from that book because I can. You can literally forget that this one happened and everything can be explained in like 2 seconds. It's literally the Phantom Menace. It's the Phantom Menace of this series.
Wow.
It could go away and you can explain the couple of things away in a sentence.
How would you explain the diary?
There was a diary.
The Horcrux.
It's another Horcrux. Why does it have to be 7 Horcruxes?
They talk about that. The 7 is the most powerful magical number.
Okay. So why don't you just add the Horcrux in later?
Because that was just one they didn't have to destroy.
Or why does it have to be the diary? Why couldn't it be a different something else? Why couldn't it have ended up being part of the Sorcerer's Stone?
The stone couldn't have been the Horcrux. It was never in Voldemort's possession. That would have been the point.
Or why couldn't they have killed the diary in one of the other movies?
But that story was so that the diary was the reason Ginny was being possessed. Because it was Voldemort's diary. Okay. Why does Jenny have to be possessed? Because she's getting entranced by the diary.
Why couldn't she have been possessed in a different book, in a different story then?
Because there was other stories to be told.
You're telling me that they can only tell one storyline per book or per movie.
I think you made a decision to hate it, so you're going to hate every aspect of it.
I think it's dumb, and I've always thought it's dumb from the second that I read it.
See, I get that if you think it's dumb, but I feel like the arguments you're making could be made for any book and any story. Like, why this? Why that?
You can easily explain away one Horcrux when there's 7 of them.
And just say, hey, this one happened to be destroyed.
Why? Okay. Why couldn't have Dumbledore destroyed that one as well?
But what's wrong with introducing Horcruxes? And it explains...
We don't even know what a fucking Horcrux is for 4 more movies.
Yeah, but we don't understand why Voldemort was able to have power through a diary, and it explains that 4 books later.
Not really.
Yeah, because...
It doesn't explain it. It just says, I think you destroyed a Horcrux in the diary. He doesn't explain anything. He just tells you that that's a Horcrux. Why did Voldemort have
power through a diary? Because his soul was in there. Then that makes sense.
I disagree. This is one of the really bad green screen scenes.
Yeah, this is.
This is really bad.
I feel like it's worse than the first one.
I didn't want to say it, but I think you're right.
And again, the budget for these movies were massive, and they were making $1 billion each. It's like you can't afford to make it look a little better.
In its defense, okay, this came out what 01 we decided?
Yeah, this is 01.
When did Attack of the Clones come out? 01 or 02?
99.
No.
Oh, Attack of the Clones 2002. Sorry.
02. Okay, so 1 year later we had Attack of the Clones. I think the green screen in that is way better, more than a year's advancement than this.
Yeah, that's true. Now, do you think maybe, you know what, I'll defend it in this manner. This movie was filmed in 6 months where Attack of the Clones had 3 years.
I'll give you that.
Like, because, think about it, there was a year difference between Sorcerer's Stone, literally exactly a year.
Yeah,
Sorcerer's Stone.
That's true.
3 years between Star Wars movies. I'm just saying because that doesn't make sense. Like, with how much money this
movie they rushed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think after this movie, they started doing 1.5 year gaps.
Just another reason why this movie's bad. They didn't take their time with it. Again, that's just really bad dialogue. Oh, stop it. Come on.
Yeah, Ron is like, I do like Hermione. It's like, even with a proper one, it would be really hard. And you're not, it's basically like an underlying, like, you're not a good wizard, bro.
He really isn't.
By the way, where's the fucking referee here?
Madam Hooch? She's probably out drinking some hooch.
No, I'm just saying, like, at some point, are you not calling time out and being like, hey, clearly there's something faulty in this bludger?
Nah.
Is it all thing goes here?
I think overall, I thought Tom Felton was a great actor in all these movies, but this scene he's really bad in.
Yeah, I mean...
Obviously, nothing will match his performance in the 6th one.
Yeah. He's really good at that.
Which he was nominated for an Oscar, right? For Best Supporting Role?
I have no idea, was he?
I know he won like the Teen's Choice Award for Best Villain for that. But I want to say he was also up for an Oscar or maybe an Academy or not an Academy Award, a Golden Globe.
Of all the awards I wanted when I was a kid, I wanted the Nickelodeon blimp.
The Nickelodeon, what was it? The Slime Kids Choice Award?
Kids Choice Awards, I think. Fucking call it
Okay,
creepy.
hold on. Does this ever happen to you when you go to Google something and then you end up like it auto like populates what it thinks you're gonna say and you're like, well, fuck, now I'm searching that.
Yeah.
That just happened to me. I was just gonna search Tom Felton and it came up Tom Felton's wife and I was like, well, fuck, now I have to see what his wife looks like.
Now I need to know what she looks like. You think she's marrying him for his money because he's, a Malfoy, he has all that money?
No, but that's not the same person.
His family has a huge estate.
Also, in case you were wondering, yes, she is cute.
I was wondering, actually. I'll have to look that up later.
Yeah, you'll have to check that out. There's also a lot of pictures of him and Emma Watson, so I kind of wonder if they dated for a while.
Man.
Talk about a power
Anyone who dates her, that's my dream girl.
She's a top 5. Probably a top one like that I grew up going, oh yeah, she's cute or whatever. But as far as like now, she's probably dropped down to a top 5.
See, for me, she's just the whole package. Like, she's smart. She has like ambition. She cares about like she's just not like some ditzy pretty girl in Hollywood. Like,
see, I gotta think for Emma Stone
Brown and Oxford.
I would agree with that. Emma Stone and Anna Kendrick are both above her for me, though.
They're all winners. All winners.
Yeah.
I do like Harry here being like, yeah, no, could you not, though? Like,
I know. Here's another thing. If you are supposedly that good, and if you're trying to hide the fact that you aren't good, why do you keep trying to do these? Why?
But he always has an excuse. He's like, see, it's not. But I like what he says. He's like, see, it's not broken anymore.
Yeah. Good news, bad news. It's not broken, but you also
I feel like it's
can't
something you
feel
would do.
anything.
Like, you'd be like, hey, I told you it would not be broken anymore.
It is something I would do probably.
I would either like the Sue Draco's like being moaning. She's like, you can go. Like, why are you here?
Okay, so I was totally wrong. He won an MTV Movie Award for Best Villain in Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows 1, and that was it.
Hey, that's pretty good, though.
And then Deathly Hallows 2, he won an MTV Movie Award for Best Cast, which, I mean, that's not him. He's just part of it.
It just goes to the cast. Fucking Dobby here.
Again, I would be like, wait a minute. It's been months since I've seen this hallucination before. Like, what's the common denominator?
He just took a shot of that Skello, bro, man. Like, you don't know what's in that.
That's
he
true.
didn't even ask the nurse, like...
Dude, my Skello is totally spiked, man.
Like, and how does the medicine know where to go? Like, what if you gave him just this massive erection?
So it's literally growing a bone for a boner? Like, there's no way to get rid of it.
He's just like, nurse, I think something went wrong.
Yeah. Like, dude, is this the right stuff? But according to you, like, that's just how magic works. It just knows. Kind of like a car can just automatically go invisible.
Works. We are not magicians, unfortunately.
Well, we might be wizards.
I'm just saying we can't give, rules here.
I don't know. Tom Felton's also from Surrey, in case you were wondering.
I was wondering. I like to think they're all still best friends. They all still hang out and stuff.
Cycly, what's your actual birthday?
My actual birthday?
No, it's in July. Never mind.
No, June.
June, okay. For some reason, I was thinking that it was in September, and I was like, you guys are literally the exact same age, but you're a little bit older than him.
That's why I said that. I will always say, like, I mean, it can't be more perfect for people our generation.
Mm-mm.
Like, I was always, like, the first couple books, I was Harry's age.
Yeah.
Like, that was awesome.
I went to several of these movies as I got older. I mean, I think I was 19 when the sixth one came out.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it by myself.
Really?
Like, yeah, I had like such a connection. I was like, I don't want to see this with anybody, and I went by myself to the movie theater to watch it.
You really enjoyed it because he was drunk in that film, and you're like, yep, I get it.
I was too drunk. It's actually why I was supposed to go with a bunch of people, but I just showed up and was hammered and was like, well.
You know what I miss about those days, and it's something we don't have anymore? But the, like, lining up 3 hours before. And
yeah.
You gotta get
now you can buy your tickets months in advance.
Which is great.
Which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But, like, yeah. If I wanted to see something opening night, I had to go at noon when they opened.
Yep. I remember, and people would be dressed up. You see the line.
Yeah, you camp out. Like, you literally sleep in a tent for a week to get the first ticket.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean, like I'm happy with the changes that the movie industry has made, theaters have made, but there was just something memorable about doing
don't get me wrong. I don't want to sleep in a tent outside of a movie theater like a homeless person. But there was something about it that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll always hold on to those memories. Something kids will never understand now. Making a whole day out of it, like it was a big party.
Like in high school, you skip school on that day to do that, or like you skip, the second half of the day.
I think it was Lord of the Rings. I literally left the high and went to this intermediate high school and went straight to the movie theater at like 3:00 and hung out there till.
That's perfect too, because that was like half a block down the street.
Yeah, it really was. I walked over there.
Yeah.
Colin Creevey, your favorite character has got petrified, bro.
I actually like Dennis Creevey better, if I'm going to be honest with you.
The little brother.
Yeah. I also think it's dumb that this entire movie, they're hanging out in the place that they need to be.
I mean, again, you have to take for a second and admit this is still technically a kid's family book, right?
I don't know. When you make it a series and it gets as dark and gritty as it did, I'm not holding my punches with this.
But why not? Think about the reason they're in this bathroom is because there's a ghost in here who bothers everyone who goes to the bathroom. That ghost is only a ghost because she died in there, because that's where the basilisk was going back into the drain. It makes sense.
I still stand by my statement that basilisk could not roam the halls without making more ruckus because it's so fucking big.
Dude, that basilisk works on his strut, man. Like he has 1,000 years downstairs in the basement. What else do you think he's doing? He's perfecting his game.
Also, how does a ghost make all that water go everywhere?
Magic.
God damn it.
It's a beautiful answer. Yeah. The Force.
All right, here's another thing. You're this great wizard and everything, but yet you can't do magic right here. You're like, I'm going to teach all the kids how to do this shit. But yet you literally can't do anything? No. This fucking goofy ass looking kid too.
I fucking loved like him and Draco going one-on-one here.
Yeah, that is cool. I'll give you that. But Justin Fletchley, first off, best name in the entire series, worst actor in the entire series.
You should tweet at. Find his Twitter. You know he has one.
That's true. I don't know where my phone's at.
I doubt he was. Most of these kids were probably never in anything else. These were just like fun extras for little kids. And Snape. I just thought Snape would just wreck his shit.
Let's see. Justin
Finch Fletchley.
Yeah. God damn
it. I love all the kids. Like in the book here, I love it. Like Harry is really conflicted. He has no idea who the hell he wants to win. He's like, I don't know what to happen. Like he wants both of them to be destroyed.
I don't really like either one. Edward Randall is the actor.
Oh yeah.
Biggest fucking chin I've ever seen. He's a musician now.
Is he Jay Leno's son or something?
Dude, honestly, I think his chin might be bigger.
Wow, that's saying something.
All right, Edward Randall. Twitter.
Are you looking on Twitter for him?
Yeah, I'm about to search now. I had to find out what his real name is. What'd I say it was? Edward Randall? God damn it, there's a lot of Edward Randalls.
In the book here, the entire class gets to start practicing on other people. And there's one-on-ones, and eventually they make it to where it's Draco and Harry, if I recall correctly.
The Swingle Singers is his band. He's the bassist in it.
Oh, of course he is. That just sounds exactly like...
He's also a journalist.
Oh my god, I just looked it up. That is quite the chin.
Is that not the biggest chin you've ever seen?
Oh my god. Look, if you're listening to this, look up Edward Randall's chin. Jesus Christ. He's got a chin for days. The ladies probably love that chin. He puts to
work. It's not even days. It's like decades.
I found his Twitter. He has 1,500 followers.
What's his Twitter handle?
At Edward Randall. Boom.
Oh yeah, that is him. I might have spelled Edward wrong. All right.
Like, where the teachers be like, hey, Draco, you went a little early there, bro. Are you actually doing this? Let's invite him on the pod. Let's invite him here. After this movie, after Harry kicks Draco's ass here, and we finish the movie, I'm gonna go listen to his band.
His band's been around since 1962. It's a jazz band. So, I mean,
so it's not really.
It's not really his band. He's just part of a band. It's different,
right? Yeah. Clearly, acting wasn't the way things were gonna go.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that musician's not really his thing either, because it also says he's a journalist, which is drastically different from acting and music.
Yeah.
Okay, this is stupid too. No.
Oh God! You think everything is stupid.
This is dumb. Not the fact that he can, but the fact that all of a sudden he can.
He always could. He spoke to the snake in the first one in parcel tongue.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He didn't realize he was speaking parcel tongue.
And now all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, I'm just going to talk to you."
He still doesn't know he's speaking parcel tongue. He thinks he's speaking English. It's like 5 minutes later, they're like, you didn't tell us you were parcel tongue. He's like, what are you talking about? Because in the first one, the snake talked back to him. He has no idea. So he always thought he was just speaking English.
No, I don't agree.
Watch the next scene.
No, I know what you're saying, and I know the next scene. I still think that it's dumb that all of a sudden he's like, clash.
But he spoke to the snake in the very first book.
They should have put subtitles then. He's speaking in a different language.
I mean, you couldn't tell that.
Should have put subtitles.
All right. I hope you are tweeting at that guy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I was going to do that.
No, because I kind of want to get on this thread. If you're not following us, by the way, Banner and I have some Twitter, so reach out to us. I'm Ronnie Cycli. See, he just explained it right there. See, Hermione knows her shit, man. You're acting like she shouldn't have known Mudblood. She knows all of this. Ron doesn't even know all of this.
Yeah, but Ron's just the drunk buffoon.
Yeah, totally. What she said. I still was thinking, I mean, like, I do like the fact that Harry, technically, with Voldemort's soul in him, is heir of Slytherin. In the book, they make him really isolated. Like, everyone's freaked out by him. No one even, like, will talk to him. See, I think Ginny was writing the diary right there. This is what I get every time I walk. Everyone just stares at me, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Ronnie Cycli, the greatest." He's a Broforce squad. Oh my god. You okay there, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. I just tweeted at him.
Oh god, I gotta go get in on this. I remember reading the book though here, coming up in the scene, like being like, "Oh my god, Harry, you're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe you are the bad guy."
Yeah, I don't know.
Because again, I remember thinking like, "Oh man, I had no idea. I hadn't read the first book. I didn't know what was going on." I was like, why is he always in the wrong place?
I think it's dumb that a ghost can get petrified also.
Why not? If they can live, why not?
They can't live. They're dead. It's this thing.
But they're exactly.
I think that it's convenient. I think it's convenient that Justin Finch Fletchley and all of his chin aren't dead. Aren't dead because there just happened to be a ghost that he saw it through. I think that's dumb. It's like, oh, there's a light fog tonight, so I'm not dead.
If you saw it through a cloud, sure.
I do like the whole thing with the spiders running
I do
away.
too.
I will say that's kind of cool.
And they don't, and I do like the fact that the spiders don't go away either. They keep that a thing. I will always respect her, even though you're hating on it. I always respect the little things she throws in these, like, and then they are always perpetually in the rest of the stories.
I just think a lot of it feels like, and whether it is or not, I'm just saying, it feels like it's just convenient that it's in this one. And granted, the spiders really do play a big role in this one, but it just feels convenient that it's in this one. And so we're going to be, oh, because it's already there, it's convenient. I can further my story later on.
Yeah, almost, but if you were a writer, I mean, isn't that kind of how, I mean, Game of Thrones does that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty in, like,
and I think that's dumb in Game of Thrones too.
You got to introduce it. If you didn't think about it the first two, a new idea comes into your head.
I just think that this one has so many, if you will, Easter eggs. Why? It's almost like, hey, I threw a bunch of shit on the wall. I'm gonna see what sticks.
I mean, maybe, but I do like the fact that it did. Like, to me, well, now that we know the end of the story, it did all stick. Like, I love the diary being a Horcrux. I love that. I love the Aragog being a big thing in the sixth one. This, Aragog dying in the sixth one is a massive ordeal. And that introduces that. I don't know. I always say the second one is probably the weakest story, but it has so, like you said, I actually like the Easter eggs. I like the fact that it's a setup.
It's such a setup movie, and I don't like setup movies. I want it to be its own movie.
But I always almost put an asterisk next to Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone. I almost called it Phantom Menace.
It's because this is just like Phantom Menace. There's like one good scene in the two good scenes: the pod race scene and the lightsaber scene with Duel of the Fates. Other than that, the rest of the movie doesn't matter.
Come on, it's the best movie of all time.
Who would win, a wizard or a Jedi?
A wizard.
You think?
Yeah, Jedis use the fucking lightsaber, man. They got to come close to you.
No, they can use the Force. Yeah,
so can the wizards. The wizards can do the exact same thing.
All right. Let me ask you this. Do you think in their respective worlds, Dumbledore is more powerful or Yoda is more powerful?
I bet Dumbledore is more powerful, but Yoda's more respected, and because he was alive for like 900 years.
Dumbledore was alive for like 900 years?
Yeah, 150, I think.
Something like that. You might be right.
The thing is, we're not going to get into Star Wars conversation because it's not the right time to do this, but I will always say that Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith really muddled Yoda's power because they made it again seem about lightsabers. I hate that this Force is always lightsabers. Yoda was powerful in another way, but
I agree. That's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have a Phoenix.
Oh man,
I think that'd be the shit.
What an awesome pet. Anytime you get hurt, man, my ankle's playing soccer, I'd be like, hey Phoenix, just give me a couple tears.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Fucking Hagrid coming in with a dead chicken. Just
he's like, hey, I also gonna cook these up though, so let me know if you're in. Your tweet is beautiful. I just saw it.
I know. I should have got a good picture to go with it. But I think he could just look at his profile picture and he'd understand.
I can't wait till he blocks you. You can at least hold that and say, wow, the guy who played Justin Fletchley blocked me on Twitter.
He's not going to block me for that. You can't convince me that he hasn't gotten worse. This is literally the only movie he's ever been in, though.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like, according to his Wikipedia, it says this is where he was born, this is where he went to college. He was in this movie and talks about the movie a fuck ton. And then he's in the Swingles, his band. Oh, and he's also a journalist, a freelance journalist.
Man, the guy is a man of all trades.
He really is. Like, now that I'm reading more, I kind of respect him more.
I mean, he's a man of many chins.
Yeah, many chins.
I would feel bad because, like, you know, if I was at this boarding school, I would never want to leave Hogwarts for Christmas, but I would feel bad for my family. Would be like, hey, you're coming home for Christmas. I'm like, it's kind of fun here. I can actually do magic and do other things. Like, I don't really want to come home.
Okay. So, again, going on, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, blah, 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 whatever. When you type in Edward Randall into Google, it auto-populates. The first thing on there is chin.
No way.
Swear to God, it just happened to me.
Poor guy.
You're doing it, aren't you?
What?
You're checking. You're fact checking me. You're Googling Edward Randall.
No, I'm literally
chin.
tweeting fact. I'm getting into this. I hope if you're listening, I don't know when we're gonna drop this, but follow us on Twitter. We like to have fun.
Yeah, at Ronnie Cycli, at B Bannertastic, at Bro4 Squad. You can find all of us there. Okay, they broke eye contact. Wouldn't the muffins fall?
No, man, they're that good at wizards.
They're not that good of wizards. Here's Geiger. Here's
I would
Geiger.
totally fall for this. I love that they know that, hey, why are these fucking pastries floating in midair? There's probably something wrong with them. Fuck it, I'm going to eat this shit.
This is totally Geiger. He's like, oh, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to eat another pastry. It kind of tastes bad. It's weird. But I think I'm going to eat it anyway. I think Crabbe and Goyle are two very underrated actors. I think they did a great job for what they needed to do. This shit looks nasty. I wouldn't fuck with this at all. It's like an old, curdled White Russian.
Yeah. Yeah, but if, oh my God, man, like, it would, if you guys had turned into someone else, this seems like a real dirty thing teenagers could get into. Turning into other people.
Turning into other people, yeah.
I remember in the seventh book when everyone takes a Polyjuice potion of Harry.
This is really bad acting.
Yeah, it is. But I remember, like, Harry even says in the book, like, in his internal monologue, is just like his privacy, he just feels really violated. Everyone now knows, like, everything about him.
Like the mole he has on his left testicle.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like, whoa, hey, could you not, though?
Yeah. Fred's like, dude, you should really get that mole on your left testicle checked out. This is the only time that Fred or Crabbe and Goyle really get to act.
Yeah.
And again, I think they do a really good job. I don't like, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. How do you feel about them anytime they use Polyjuice potion in the movies? They use whoever that is, their voice, whereas in the book, it's actually Crabbe or Goyle's voice.
Right. So, two things. One, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I do love how but second, I understand why in a movie capacity they have to do.
But I'm also very impressed with the sound editing for them to make that work and get it exactly perfectly dead on. Yeah, it's just, again, this is one of those things that people will be upset about. Like, we'll definitely talk about this when it comes to the sixth one, because there's a lot in Half-Blood Prince that they don't do in the book. That I agree with. The book is better for a reason. But there's some things that do not reflect. Yes, and I think the opposite can be said for Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix is probably my favorite book, and it is probably just ahead of this as far as movie. They leave so much out in that final act, really. That's because the fifth one was 1,000 pages. It was. And again, I get that you have to leave things out. I just think that there were some things that they should have / could have added fairly easily that would have been really cool. Here's what I will say, because we will talk about each movie when we get to
But I will say this. The fact that this is the second shortest book in the entire series, but is the longest movie, and the fifth one, Order of the Phoenix, is the longest book in the series and is the shortest movie, is a problem.
A very big problem.
That doesn't make sense. But I'll go back. I understand why they didn't have the voices. It wouldn't make sense in a cinematic way.
It wouldn't, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And why are these common rooms always empty? Shouldn't there be like hundreds of kids around? Also, play it cool there, Harry. Like, yeah, not the best poker face here. Harry Potter? Harry Potter? Like, be cool, guys. I was really excited when I was reading this book. I thought they finally had him. I thought, because I was 12 years old, I was like, yeah, it's 100% Draco. I wasn't keen enough to realize there was more going on in the plot.
Such a Draco thing to do.
What, steal that present?
Oh. Is this one of your guys' fucking Christmas presents? No. Okay, well, I'm going to take it then.
Can't fault him, man. Got to go for it. That's why he's a Slytherin, man. He's ambitious.
Okay, you obviously, and I'm assuming most of our fans here, all taken the test of what are you? Like a Slytherin or whatever, blah, blah. I'm a Slytherin through and through. I could have told you that without taking the test.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that you were a Slytherin as well?
You and I talked about it on the first one a little bit, but I just, because if you're a fan of the books, if you're a nerd, you know what answers to give to, be which character or which house.
And I think I kind of wanted to be a Slytherin.
See, when I was first doing those tests, I definitely wanted to be a Gryffindor. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm Gryffindor. But dude, you know me. I'm not a brave guy.
No, you aren't.
Like, I'm not the first one charging into a battle.
I also knew I was a Slytherin. So when the new book came out a couple years ago, the Cursed Child book, we went to a book reveal thing at Barnes & Noble. It was fun. They had like little games and quizzes and things like that. And you could be sorted. And I like this part in the book better than this, where her teeth were all fucked up and they fixed her teeth.
Yeah.
Anyway, side note. Anyway, you could be sorted, and the way of sorting them at this book event was they just had a pot, and it had a bunch of fucking letters in it, and you just pull a letter out, and that's what you are. I pulled out a Slytherin.
From that day?
Yeah. Completely random, nothing to do with the test, and I was a fucking Slytherin that day too.
Were you like the kid on high school, had the 4 hats in front of him?
Yeah. I've decided to take my talents to Slytherin.
You fake reach for the Gryffindor hat?
Yeah. I was like, look, there ain't no way I'm smart enough to be in Hufflepuff. Or Ravenclaw, whichever one's the smart one.
The fact that you just said I'm not smart enough to be in Hufflepuff just proved a lot.
I'm also not sober enough to be in either one of those.
Slytherin is the birth of... Actually, no. The 2 houses that the party's at. The party's at Hufflepuff.
It's got to be at Hufflepuff.
And Slytherin.
Yeah.
Ravenclaw is that nerdy party. Like, people are like, oh, I had 1 beer. Oh my god, am I gonna die now?
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, you're cool. Chill.
Gryffindor, I feel like they're kind of like the jocks, actually.
Yeah, they're the jocks, but they take themselves too seriously. Like, I can't drink. I've already had 1,200.34 calories a day.
Yeah. So I
can
could see that too.
Calm down, man. Like, just have a good time.
Those shoes Harry's wearing look so uncomfortable.
I do like that they do reflect once this movie finishes up and they get the new direction. The whole yeah, we have the wizarding cult like clothes, but kids are still growing up in this day and age. Like they're gonna have normal clothes.
Yeah. I like this part
They,
too, the flashback scenes here.
yeah, they
I
dress
like
so.
how it's done, how it's filmed. I like pretty much everything about it, actually.
I love that he writes. If I was a 12-year-old boy writing in a diary, it would be like a lot different than, "Hello, my name is Harry Potter." Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, mine
I
would
learned
not
all
say
the
that
cuss
for
words.
sure.
I'm gonna use all of them.
Do you think that's actually him writing that? There's no fucking way.
I doubt it, because they have to write it in a manner, and the handwriting has to be like, I don't know if you've ever seen my handwriting, but it is not pretty.
Yeah, no, I've seen
It's
you
like
type.
Titanic.
Your typing is even bad.
Yeah, that's factual, actually. It's like in Titanic, James Cameron was actually the one using the paintbrush
Yeah,
when Jack is painting Rose.
yeah. He was like, I'll stare at Kate Winslet's tits.
This is like what is like Google for wizards?
Yeah. Yeah, this shit happened to me one time in college when I was on shrooms.
Hey Alexa.
Hey Alexa, am I a wizard?
Yeah. Hey Alexa, can you tell me about the Chamber of Secrets? Sure.
I do like the whole idea of Tom Marvolo Riddle, I am Lord Voldemort. I think that's cool. June 13th, that's like they're barely still in school. So, again, I think some of the timeline stuff here gets a little weird. The way that they get sucked into the diary, though, is really cool. I kind of wish they would have shown or talked about Jenny getting sucked in. The book doesn't do that either, but I don't know. I just think it would be entertaining to see more than one perspective of somebody getting sucked into the same story.
I think the June 13th thing is, so if I might be wrong about the school system here, but from what I recall, school ends at the end of June. They have all of July and all of August off. They get a whole month or like 3 weeks or something for Easter and Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 weeks for Christmas and like 1 week for Easter. It's almost like block scheduling.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it is the June 13th timeline. Might be. I kind of remember the end of the year is in June. I think that's just the British thing. Because in America, we're on summer vacation.
We're fucking weird.
And they just get it longer. They get longer, winter. Like, in college, we used to get a whole month off.
Yeah. Cycly, would you be mad if I told you we weren't recording right now?
No, not at all.
Okay, so we need to start over.
Really?
No, not really. For those of you guys at home, every single time we do anything associated with Harry Potter, something with the recording gets fucked up.
I was literally about to be like, "That's just amazing." I'm not even mad. You ate a whole wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
You pooped in the refrigerator. I was more concerned with Mrs. Cycly's reaction than mine.
Right? Yeah, so was I. Mrs. Cycly would come over to my house and beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was going to crack up, though. I'd be like, oh, man, there's something going on. Something magical going on.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I got it.
I like how this is filmed where everything is kind of that black and white or that... It's not really black. I guess it is black and white.
They did a good job of making Richard Harris look like, I don't know, like decently young. Like he's still...
Even though we all know he was dying of terminal cancer.
He literally dies like a month after this. So...
Did he... He didn't even make it to the premiere, right?
I don't know, actually. I want to look that up. I don't know when he died. Because this came out in November of 2001.
Right. They always came out around my birthday.
He died October 25th, 2002. So he did make it to the premiere.
Okay, he did make it to the premiere. Well, yeah.
Wait, maybe it was 2000. No, maybe my dates are wrong. Because he obviously wasn't in the third one. I mean, obviously. Obviously. I just know I'm excited for Justin Fletchy to respond. It's just 3 a.m. in London right now.
Yeah, but he's in a band. I feel like he should have responded.
No,
so Chamber came out in 2002.
Yeah, I was wrong by a year. So the first one came out in 2001. So yes, he died. Oh, he died before the premiere. You're 100% right.
That's right. I'm right. Look, I've been saying this for years. People need to start listening to me more.
Yeah, but you say it into your hairbrush in the bathroom, thinking there are listeners. That's the problem. People need to listen to me more.
Very well, people need to just listen to me more.
That's also terrible acting by Dino.
Really bad acting.
Niagara!
Which is saying a lot because he is a really bad actor, just in general.
He advances a lot. I've seen him. He's done a good job of the movies he's been in since Harry Potter. I've actually been impressed.
I will agree. He was good in what are those scary movies? The Black Lady movies.
The Woman in Black.
Woman in Black. I thought he was good in that. I thought you could tell he was having a lot of fun in Can You See Me Now too.
Yeah,
he had a lot of fun in that.
I obviously didn't see it, but he was critically acclaimed for his role in Equus. That was the Broadway.
Yeah,
I didn't see it, but
it's the one where he got naked, right?
What's it? Yeah, he fucked a horse, I think.
Yeah. Which good for you.
I like the fact that they all kind of went and did their own. Like, again, respect to the British kids compared to how American child actors are. Like, they all took different. Like Hermione or Emma Watson, she went back and did her education. I don't think Rupert Grint ever. He always said he didn't really want to continue being an actor. Like, he's gone and done his own thing. He might do acting. I don't know, but I know the first thing he did was bought an ice cream truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what he's been up to, honestly.
He literally talked about all he wanted to do was buy an ice cream truck, and he did it. They had so much money. I mean, dude,
and they're set for life.
I think Tom Felton, Draco, he acted in a couple things. I know he was in what some of the new.
He did one of the Planet of the Apes movies.
Planet of the Apes, yeah. But I think Daniel Radcliffe is the only one who's really no. What am I talking about? Emma Watson.
Emma Watson is bigger than Daniel Radcliffe. I'd say.
Yeah, she is. She 100% is the biggest one out of all the kids.
So Rupert Grint, he's done some TV stuff, and he actually did a lot in 2013. He did 3 movies in 2013.
Is that British movie or kind of more underground or?
Yeah, something like that. They look more British movies. I mean, I'm not gonna actually click on them, but just by the names.
Oh, they took titles like Tea and Crumpets and the Queen Goes to Scotland or something.
Yeah, God Save the Queen. Again, I just think it's silly. I don't know. You have one of your main characters isn't in half of the fucking thing.
I mean, there's only 30 minutes left, right?
No, we haven't even gone to Aragog's place.
That's true.
There's probably an hour left. And again, you can't tell me that these people... some of these people have been petrified for almost a year.
See, but I got to give a little respect to her. This is the second book, and she just petrified one of the main characters.
I would give her respect if she killed one of the main characters.
I mean, sure, but
this is like the pussy way out of it.
It's the second book.
It's I want to kill somebody, but I really don't, because it might be convenient for them to be in all the other fucking movies. So we're just gonna pretend kill them.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not all of us can be fucking Game of Thrones.
There's a lot wrong with that.
Well, okay, tell me. Okay, Lord of the Rings, not one of the 9 of the Fellowship ever died.
And I think it's stupid. Because that entire series is stupid.
Oh my god. I'm gonna hate on Lord of the Rings. Can't even talk to you right now. So how are you, by the way?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
It's good talking to you. I love talking to you. I'm just saying, like, you take this smart genius out of the group, like, that's ballsy play by Rowling here.
I think it's dumb because she still gives them the fucking answer.
Right.
They literally still don't figure anything out on their own.
That's because they're idiots. We talked about in the first one, Harry is not smart. He does not have.
He's just so stupid. He thinks he can do anything.
I mean, Ron isn't that, like, yeah. They would.
All right. So on the pod, who's who?
Oh man, I don't wait. There's
Hornacek is definitely Hermione.
Who's that?
Horns.
Oh yeah,
he's Hermione.
You think he's the genius?
Unfortunately, I do.
Out of us, yeah, sadly. So Geiger is like Crab or something.
Yeah, Geiger's a fat Justin Flinch-Fletchy.
But so Justin Flinch-Fletchy only has one big chin. Geiger has 8 big chins.
Yeah, Geiger has multiple chins.
I don't know. I feel like you and I can trade for Ron and Harry any time of the day. Whoever's being dumber.
I would agree with that. I
like, we're always accidentally getting ourselves in trouble. Like, we don't need to do any of this stuff. We could easily tell a teacher and all of this would be solved. But we just...
Hornacek is kind of like Gilderoy Lockhart. He's just a fucking buffoon.
He just gets away with it. I do like this. So this is something I did not realize. The Prime Minister of Magic right here. It's actually the same exact actor we get in the third one, but it's hard to recognize him because of the difference.
Because of the difference in costume design.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
And I love the real, like, you can just tell the difference between how perfectly, like, I don't know, I always say cookie cutter. This is. Yeah. Look at him. I always thought it was a new actor.
I think that's really, with the exception of Dumbledore, do we have anybody that is a different actor as the series goes on?
Not a major, no. Not I can think of.
I think technically Professor Flitwick changes, but other than that...
No, Flitwick's the same.
Is he the same? Okay.
Flitwick actually, in a weird way, plays multiple characters.
Really?
Flitwick is one of the goblins in Gringotts.
Ah,
They also changed Flitwick's look as Professor Flitwick.
Changed his look.
Yeah, they make him way... Yeah,
younger.
Again, a thing. And something I will always... Even though he only did one movie, he always wanted to do more. But we'll talk about this when we do Azkaban. But Cuarón really made a difference in the feel of these movies. Yes. That they held on to from 3 to 8. I always know he always wanted to come back, and I kind of wish he had. But at that point, David Yates, when he did 5 through 8, he had it. He had it right.
And I don't know that David Yates could have. I don't know that anybody could have done all of them better than David Yates.
No, I will have no problem with David Yates. I really liked him. I will always say the same thing about what you and I said about the 5th movie, especially. There was problems in the 6th movie. Sure, I still love it, but David Yates did a great job, and he's doing a great job with Fantastic Beasts.
He's doing a fine job, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it. You can check out our movie commentary on that one, but...
Well, we haven't seen the second one yet, so let's find out.
Yeah, but Fantastic Beasts I didn't like. Crimes Against Grindelwald is a different movie. For what I'm talking about, it's a different fucking series. I think it was terrible.
That's true. I agree with that. Yeah, and again, listen to our Fantastic Beasts commentary because we go down deep into that one.
Dumbledore looked like he wanted to fuck the shit out of me right there.
I mean, who doesn't? That's how I look at you.
That's true.
You give everyone that look, and everyone just drops their pants.
Yeah, but 12-year-old boys shouldn't do that.
And man, I can't wait till we get into more of the other movies because we can talk about the casting then. We got Lupin the next movie. We get Mad-Eye Moody the movie after that. Yeah. Fucking Umbridge after that. Like, the casting is just on point.
Gary Oldman is serious.
Yeah. Oh, man. Love it. Lupin. David Thewlis.
Yeah.
Thewlis. Oh, here we go. Are you you're
Such
good with
bad
spiders,
acting.
right?
On what?
We're about to go into the forest here. Are you a spy? Are you okay with spiders? Do
I'm
you have a
fine with
fear?
spiders. I don't do snakes, but I'm fine with spiders.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I remember this scene. I mean, we're not there yet, but this whole forest scene, I remember seeing in theater. This is probably the only time I actually felt like the CGI in this movie was decent.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Their mix of puppets and CGI here isn't too bad.
And it might be because they're puppets compared to some of those green screen and other scenes.
Yeah.
Also, I think at this point it just shows that Hogwarts has like a spider infestation.
Yeah, they really have bigger issues
Like,
here.
Look how many spiders you're calling out of Hagrid's hut, like, dude.
Yeah, but he was just having a let's get high party with the spiders.
Literally, like,
one thing that I was thinking about the other day is every movie we go into the forest for a different reason.
Yeah.
I like how versatile the forest is.
I do too. I like the fact that, like, yeah,
Dang,
exactly what you said.
Fang's got some fucking balls on him.
Who does? Oh yeah.
Dude,
Except
look
he's
at
also
those things
scary.
swaying.
At that point, like, I feel like Harry, like, I just love every time they were like, I think in the book, like, by the fifth one, Dumbledore's doing his speech, like, not going in the forest, and, like, Harry and Ron, like, roll their eyes or something, because they end up in the forest every damn time.
Yeah. And honestly, they end up in, like, half the time, a teacher takes them in there.
Yeah. And the fifth one, they take umbrage in there. I love that.
Yeah, after Hagrid takes them there.
Yeah, because of her grop, yeah.
And then in the first one, they end up in there because they get detention.
See, these spiders, yeah, like, I love it. It's creepy.
The set for this part is really cool. That's one thing that this movie had a really good job on, too, though. Really the only thing it did good on, because it's a stupid movie, was the set. They did some really cool set pieces. This one, and then once we actually get into the chamber, they did a really good job with the set, I thought.
Again, it goes back to the sense of, like, they have money for these movies, the sense of realism. The only problem I feel in the filming is the CGI, and it's because, again, I just wonder if it had to do with timing.
Yeah.
You can't tell me they didn't have the money to get the best money could buy at that time.
Did we look up what the budget for this was?
100 million.
That's a lot in 2002.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'm pretty sure, and we'll get into this later, but I'm pretty sure the fourth one at the time in 2004 or whatever it came out was the most expensive movie in the world, like, at the time, like, ever. Obviously, it's not anymore, but at that time.
I think you might be right. So the third one had 130 million. Let's see what the fourth one had. 150 million.
Huh. Yeah, there's something about it being. I mean, nowadays, 150 million is not an expensive.
Yeah, that's just like that's your run-of-the-mill average blockbuster.
Yep. Sadly.
Especially when you have movies like the
like
Avengers.
$100 million is like this indie film that 10 people go to see.
Yeah.
Brag about how no one's heard of it. You're like, oh man.
Is a basilisk snake a real snake?
I feel like I can't remember. I feel like I looked this up before, and I have no idea. I feel like it. I mean, obviously, there's not a snake in the world that you will look at will kill you, but there might be.
So it's not a real snake.
A basilisk with that kind of power? No, I don't think so.
I don't like snakes. I think it's funny that spiders, their web is their poop.
I mean, what's wrong with that? I wish my poop was as efficient.
Right, it's nice and strong and like stretchy, but it's comfortable. You can just like make a poop hammock. It's basically what spiders do.
Dude, a poop panic sounds pretty damn good right now.
Yeah.
See, this is creepy as fuck, though. I was legitimately like creeped out when all these spiders started attacking.
Yeah, you really start to feel some of the tension here. The back-to-back scene, making the circle, I like that. This now, nope, you don't got me anymore. Car still has a fucking mind of its own.
It's your boy.
It comes to save him? No, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
The car is there to save the day, man.
I think it's dumb.
Didn't they? I think they see the car in like the 5th or 6th books. I love it. Like they just see it like out of the corner of their eye, like just going wild or something.
Yeah, they like mentioned that it's still loose out there.
Living the dream, man.
The fact that it has a mind of its own is ridiculous. Also, it looks like a convertible that has a soft top. How is it keeping a fucking spider out?
Those spiders don't know what's going on.
Pretty sure Ron would be decapitated right now.
He moved. Harry's a skilled wizard, unlike Ron.
Yeah, Ron basically is a year behind right now. He needs to go to remember when you had like first grade and second grade, but then you had like intermediate grade that was some first graders and some second graders?
I was in transitional.
Transitional, yeah. I feel like Ron needs to be in transitional every year.
Every single year.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. He can't afford a normal wand.
I feel like they would have like scholarships and different programs to pay for shit like that.
Ron isn't on a scholarship. We're talking about how dumb he is.
No, but I'm just talking about like there would be some sort of financial aid to where he can get money for that.
Yeah, they're not borrowing money. They're so poor anyway.
I get that they're poor. That's what I'm saying. You think anybody in America can actually afford to pay cash to go to school? Like college?
I mean, not some people can.
But there are people that can't. And for those people, there's financial aid. There's got to be financial aid for this shit.
I mean, again, the financial aid. So I did this in law school, man. Like I borrowed money, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna have all this money to live," and then it's gone. Like you pay one bill with it, and you're like, "Fuck, what have I done?" They don't have enough money for a wand.
I also still think the flying car is dumb.
You know, I was curious if you still felt that way. I was thinking your heart had changed.
No, I still think it's stupid.
I just like the personality of the car. It's like the flying carpet.
Yeah, I also think that the back window wouldn't just have a hole in it from that branch. I think it would be completely shattered out.
I just like the car's like, bye.
Bye.
Like, see ya, bitches. Saved your life. Peace out. Harry's starting to grow into himself. Figure shit out, man.
I also feel like the teachers would have found this fucking piece of paper stuck in her hand. Because it's not really, like, it's not that unobvious.
They're just not looking. You know, it's a lawsuit. You don't want to touch her in places.
Teachers would have looked. I'm just saying.
They don't want to touch her inappropriately.
They're not touching her inappropriately, Cycly.
Yeah, but you don't want to accidentally touch her like, oh man, she was petrified.
She wouldn't have said anything for 25 years anyway.
I don't think Hermione ever knew.
Basically, the basilisk just put a date rape drug in her, right?
You think, like, yeah? What? Imagine if they had found this, like, you know, like 3 months earlier, whenever Hermione first got petrified. They'd be like, "Oh, it was the basilisk."
Yeah.
The whole time.
Oh yeah, this is easy. It travels through the pipes. All right, easy enough. Yeah, we got this. Just put some fucking Drano down there. It'll fix the problem.
Drano fixes everything. Just pour some bleach, whatever. Harry's figuring out the obvious here. He's like, oh my god.
He's like, let me figure everything out that Hermione just figured out.
Hermione, if she was there, it's like, guys, how fucking dumb are you right now? And Ron thinks he has him here. Ron's like, ooh.
Yeah, Ron's like, I got you, bitch.
And he's like, Harry's like, oh, wait, what about this? And Ron's like, fuck, man. You're right. Damn it. I smoked way too much.
Smoked way too much.
Shit. Who are you again?
It's like, look, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm super fucking stoned right now.
He had to be. For him to go into the fucking forest and deal with those spiders.
He's like, dude, I had the craziest dream. We went into the Forbidden Forest, which is forbidden. Like, we're not allowed to go there.
Yeah.
And we fucked all these spiders up.
Can someone please rename the Forbidden Forest? It's more like, hey, please don't go in there, but on occasion you might have to.
It's like, it's really shunned upon, but, like, it's not that bad.
We understand, though, that you're going to have to make appearances in there.
How many, like, beer bottles and, like, fifths of whiskey are hidden out in the Forbidden Forest?
Dude, a ton. You know that's where the 5th, 6th, and 7th years would go.
Yeah, that's where they hang out.
And they're like, no teachers will come here because it's forbidden. Same with the Shrieking Shack.
That's where, like, the potheads go, is the Shrieking Shack.
Dude, no way. If I was high in a place like that's like haunted, that would just fuck with me. I'd get too paranoid. Like, I would have no problem being high in the forest. That'd just be beautiful. Being high in a haunted house, no way.
I don't know, man.
I'd get too paranoid. I'd be freaked out.
What if you knew the secret passage to get there, though? Like, you literally had a free place to go where you knew a teacher wouldn't catch you.
It's about, like, the being in that house with the creepy sounds and ghouls and all that kind of shit.
Know, man. Like, being out in the middle of a forest stoned out of your mind is pretty freaky, too.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with having an edible and going hiking. This is creepy, too. A skeleton will lie in the chamber forever. Again, for a book for 12-year-olds, man, that's pretty dark.
I don't know. I think it's dumb.
I think you're dumb. I don't, though. I actually think you're pretty great.
See, and then again now, he's so fucking good, but yet he's like, oh, I'm peacing out.
Yeah, he's not good, though. He knows he's not. That's why he's piecing out.
Yeah, but if he knows he's not good, he wouldn't have tried all those other spells earlier that obviously didn't work.
He's like, dude, this would be, he was like a Slytherin or something. This would be me. I'm like, look, I don't want to go do this shit. Sorry.
Honestly,
sorry about your sister.
He was probably got his formal education in Canada.
Oh, probably. I just think, even if he can do it, man, I don't want to be responsible for this. He's like,
actually, no. It's probably France. He's just like, nah, things are getting tough. I'm going to run. I'm out. If he got in Canada, he'd be like, look, Basilisk A, can we just talk about it, A?
I like Ron acts like he's threatening here with this fucking spello tape wand.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's Scotch tape. It's not spello tape either.
It is Scotch tape. It's not magical powers. She's in stuff too. Moaning Myrtle, I think she was actually relatively famous.
Really?
I want to say.
Do you think there was any weirdos at Hogwarts that tried to date a ghost?
Some like incel or something who's like, oh, I can't get an actual girl, so you want to hang out with me sometime?
Yeah. It's like, look, so
ghost, why not? You don't got to do any work.
It's a cheap date, honestly.
It's a cheap date, but also you don't get any like can't cuddle, can't
You could. It's
do
just
anything.
freezing if you do.
I mean, can they derobe even?
I mean, maybe they don't have to, and that's part of the allure of it.
So you're about to get really pissed here, huh?
Yeah. Also,
see, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense that someone died in the room where the snake comes in and out of.
I'm not saying that that doesn't make sense, but look at the size of the hole that happens. Holy shit.
What?
Guess how old the actress that plays Moaning Myrtle is?
No, she's old. That's what I'm saying. She's a pretty big actress, or she was like at least like a seasoned actress, I should say.
She's 52 currently.
So she was 40. I mean, sorry, 30. Like what? 35.
That is insane.
And she's supposed to be killed at like the age of 15 or 16. So she's playing someone 20 years younger than her. See, I think this is awesome.
I'm not saying it's not cool. Okay, that's the hole that we're dealing with, right?
Right.
What would you say? That's like maybe 3x3?
I think that might be more than 3x3. That might be like 5x5.
There's no way that's 5x5. Also, I kind of feel like Moaning Myrtle was a slut just by her name.
That was her nickname before she even...
Yeah.
Like, hey, the Moaning Myrtle died.
All right, I'll split the difference with you. It's 4x4.
I'll agree with that.
All right.
But like, look at I don't know, man. Like, he fit pretty big into that.
You know what? She's kind of got it going on now. I'd fuck Moaning Myrtle if I could.
You'd make Myrtle moan?
I would make Myrtle moan. Why is Ron like right up Harry's ass?
I just want this ride at the Harry Potter Wizarding World.
Yeah, there you go. You want to land on a bunch of bones? I just think this is so stupid.
I love this idea though that like Salazar Slytherin created this chamber down here that no one ever knew about, no one could get to. I think that's creative. I like it. And here's a play by your boy here. Fakes this shit.
It is kind of genius to fake flaunt.
Yeah, that would be my. Because you and I are the bravest of souls. That would be my move for sure. Fake like you're dead, or paint like you're hurt.
Just flop all the time, and you'll be fine.
See, I remember when I was reading in Beirut when I was 12, 13-year-old kid. I could not put it down. My family, I remember this. They were going out. We were going to dinner somewhere. And I begged and I fought my family that I did not want to go. I wanted to keep reading. I was like probably right at that part in this book where I was like, oh my God, shit's going down. I can't leave. They were yelling at me. And I remember responding to my mom like, Mom, all you've ever wanted from me was to read. And now I'm reading and you want me to stop. And she had no answer for that.
And it's just convenient that he has broke up from everybody else and now he's by himself to save the day.
Yeah, man, it shows he's a bad. Like, no, it proves that Harry is here to save the day. We are safe in Harry's hands. I also thought, and something that J.K. Rowling was always underrated for was her humor, the ability to write humor. And I remember reading this in, I was 12, 13 years old, cracking up at Gilderoy Lockhart's reaction. And you can't blame Brom there. Also, Harry's acting terrible. Absolutely terrible here. But you take what you can get. Harry, I have no problem with him right here. Doing what he got to do by himself the first time. We saw in Sorcerer's Stone, he was not by himself until the very end. This time, he really has to do the crux of his work on its own. We really see him come to his own.
You're telling me, oh, I don't know how to speak Parseltongue, and I don't know how to speak snake language, but now I can do it on command?
In the book, again, because your beef is with Christopher Columbus, in the book, he does it a couple times and it doesn't work. And then he has to sit there and concentrate on the snake moving. Like, he has to imagine the snake is moving. It takes him a couple tries to get it to work. So, I mean, I agree, you're right, but the movie is just doing movie shit.
So you're telling me that it's bad?
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I think you just said it was bad. This part right here, when we first see the chamber, yeah. I actually really like this with the snakes.
I love this.
This is a really cool set
this room
piece.
Badass. This room is bad.
Really cool set piece. And I don't believe that a lot of this is green screen. I think most of this is all live set. It's a huge stage set, actually.
I remember watching this and being like, that the whole chamber is epic.
They did do a good job with, except for the fact that they made Salazar Slytherin look like Poseidon.
What's wrong with Poseidon?
Nothing's wrong with Poseidon. I just think that they should have been a little bit more creative in how they made Salazar Slytherin's statue look.
Maybe Poseidon looks like Salazar Slytherin,
nah,
bro.
I don't think you're right. So Tom Riddle's not real here, but yeah, he could pick up a wand, but he's not a real person yet.
No, again. It's the book. It's the movie versus the book. The book talks about why he can start picking it up, and why if Ginny had died, he would have become full fleshed again. But the movie doesn't really explain it. Like, and it goes back to the differences. It's just. Okay, so did you see the movie first? Or did you read the book?
I think I actually saw like the first 4 or 5 movies before I read any of the books.
So, okay, I was gonna ask, like, I had no idea he was Voldemort at this point.
I did not either.
And my mind was like, what?
I think I said earlier in this show, I think it's really cool how the name Tom Marvolo Riddle is I am Lord Voldemort, and you can mix the letters up, and I think that's cool. But then all of a sudden, oh, Marvolo, we can make that the middle name of his grandpa. Very convenient later on in the story.
I mean, again, but that's anything. Like, anything is convenient.
Nah.
Why can't he be named after his grandfather?
It's just convenient because his family. No, his family hated his wizarding relatives. Stupid.
His family didn't know that he was even alive.
Stupid.
That is not. People are named after relatives all the time. That is
not relatives that they hate.
He's changed his name. Well, no. The mother named him that to honor the family.
Yeah, and the mother hated. The mother got raped by her brother and dad all the time. Why would you name somebody that raped you?
Because she was not in a good mental state.
I disagree with that statement. I think it's convenient. I think it's dumb.
No, I think
I think everything that was put into this book that connects to something later on is just super convenient.
That's the Deus Machina. That is the writer's power. That's in every story ever created.
Well, I still think it's stupid.
Here you go. This is pretty cool.
This is cool. Again, visually, this is one of the better scenes that they did.
I was like, oh shit, no way. You're the heir of Slytherin? God, Harry, work on your acting, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, I like to say that it's going to continue to get better, but it's definitely going to get worse before it gets better.
I think he's better in the third movie, save for a couple lines.
He's really bad in the fourth movie, though.
I will agree, but I feel like that's more of a product of the way the fourth movie was filmed. The whole fourth movie.
I think he's pretty bad in the fifth movie, also.
I think it's more his character is bad, like the angsty teenager.
I think he's really good in the sixth and really good in the seventh and eighth movies.
Yeah. He's also not. Yeah, he definitely.
He's really good in the eighth movie. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But really, until the sixth movie, he's a horrible actor, and you can tell that, hey, your uncle knows somebody is the only reason you got this role.
Is that really how he got the role?
I'm pretty sure that's how he got the audition. I don't think that's how he necessarily got the role, but I think that's how he got the audition, is that he knew somebody.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I have no idea. I just like the whole snake, like, creepy as fuck.
It is creepy. Okay. So we can't really get how big is it? So would you say Voldemort right here is like what, 5'8", maybe 6 foot tall?
Yeah, he's an average height guy.
So there's no way that snake would fit through these fucking pipes.
The pipe we saw going into the bathroom, it would definitely fit.
There was no way he would fit.
If we just you agreed 4x4, that snake is not 4x4.
That snake is definitely 4x4.
You think that snake is 4 foot thick?
Yeah, for sure.
Way. No way. No, look how thin that bird is kicking his ass right now.
Really bad acting right here, too. He can still hear you.
See, you know what the line should have been, in my opinion? Smell you.
Yeah, I agree. Smell is more important.
I don't know. I thought snakes were more of the, like, they use their tongue to smell more than, like, hear stuff. But you're the snake expert. I have no idea.
I just don't. Okay, so this snake is basically as tall as Harry is right now. So you're telling me Harry is less than 4 foot tall?
He's not tall. No way. He is not as tall as Harry. I think that snake is maybe 3x3 at most.
There's no way it's 3x3. And either way, okay, we're way deep down. Once it gets back up to the bathrooms, there's no way it can slither through the fucking pipes to get everything.
Strong ab game, man.
It's like Jurassic Park right here.
This is actually pretty smart by Harry there.
Yeah, it is. I don't think Harry would have thought of that on his own, though.
Yeah, he's channeling his inner Hermione there. I would just ride on top of I would jump on top of the basilisk like a horse, like, woo!
Yeah, you would also be dead.
Yeah, it can't bite you if you're on top of its head.
It could smash you against the top of this 17-foot pipe that you're in. This is seriously the biggest shit pipe I've ever seen in my life.
That's what matters. Dude, you don't know what wizards shit. You don't see how much they eat at Hogwarts?
That's true.
They have an unlimited buffet every day.
It's so absurd, man. Like what? And the worst part about it is whatever you think you want to eat is what you can eat.
God.
It's like being on a cruise all the time.
Well, what would our wives do? They'd sit there for an hour being like, "What? I don't know what I want."
I wouldn't have a wife if I was at Hogwarts.
Why? Because we'd be too fat?
Yeah. Again, look how big this. Okay. All right. You
long
don't think this is a?
to
You don't
get
think it's a
fat.
big snake? You don't think it's a big snake?
It is a big snake. Whoa. It's a huge snake.
Okay. How tall is Harry Potter right here?
I'm not talking about length.
No. How tall is Harry Potter?
Snake.
How tall is Harry Potter?
4'9", 5 feet.
5 foot. 4'9", 5 foot.
I don't know, 12 years old, maybe a little. Like, yeah, he is half his height.
That thing is way more than half his height. Way
if he puts
more
his
than half
head
his
down
height.
right on his toes, I think he goes to his waist.
There's no to his waist. Oh my god. No way.
No way. Come on, get out of here. He's probably more than that. I don't know. I'm trying to remember when I was at 12 in my height ratio.
Look at this thing. That thing is as tall. That head is as tall as he is.
His mouth was open. No, it's not. No, I'm standing by it.
No, that thing is as tall as he is. There's no way that thing would fit through the pipes.
I'm gonna take some screenshots. That head. No, it's not even close.
Oh my god. Also, there's no way Harry would catch this sword right here.
It's just
look at that thing. That's as tall as he is.
That's his seeker tendencies right there.
Oh my god.
Dude, his mouth is wide open and it went to his waist.
No. Yeah, it was also 4 feet above his head.
This snake is like a Neymar right here, the way he's dying. He's like, oh god.
Oh yes. The snake did the Neymar challenge before the Neymar challenge was a thing. So dumb. I can't believe that you think it's not the right size.
It is the right size. 100%. You're putting words in my mouth. I will agree with you that this is not the best Harry Potter movie, nor is it the best Harry Potter book. A lot of it has to do with nostalgia here. But I think you're being a little unfair in your criticisms here. Oh my gosh, that proves it right there. He just walked right by the snake. The snake didn't even go up to his waist. You just got lawyered. Get out of here. Speechless. See that, folks? Speechless. Couldn't even have a comeback for that, could you? Didn't even have a comeback. You're still speechless. I have nothing to say to that.
That's because I wasn't even in the room.
Also, I don't care.
You can't tell me the 13-year-old boy right here.
Hey, even though we're doing this live, when this movie ends, rewind the scene you just missed. Harry walks right by the dead basilisk. The basilisk does not even reach his waist.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, rewind it if you want to.
No. You can't tell me that a 13-year-old boy, as in Harry Potter, wouldn't at least consider or be like, well, I just need to, touch a boob here. You got a free pass. Also, how this Horcrux dies is not consistent with how any of the other ones die. And also, why do none of the other ones have to possess somebody to become a thing? But yet this one does.
Whoa. Remember, the necklace did possess Ron.
No, it changed him, but it didn't possess him.
Do you remember it possessed her because she poured her soul into the diary?
I think it's dumb.
I think you've made that clear.
Inconsistent.
I think it's more to do with the writers and the movie writers and the direction than it died the same exact way in the books. I'll say that.
It did. Which again, it's just an afterthought. Again, just reaffirms that this is an afterthought, that this is a Horcrux. And I still want this fucking bird.
You have to give her credit. She knew everything. You cannot convince me that she didn't know.
No way she knew everything.
She knew all of it. She knew the scar was a Horcrux. Everything she had planned out. I mean, she's shown her writing. She had all of the whole story written.
Well, then I think that she literally just mailed it in for this one. She's like, all right, I'm gonna write the first one. Let me write the third one. And then I'm like, well, I guess I need to write a second one between the first and the third.
It's funny because the things you don't like about this is it's my thing. It's how I feel about the first two books and movies. I can appreciate them. I don't enjoy them in like a cinematic or like book loving way, but I appreciate what they did.
The first one gave us the world. It introduced us to the characters. The second one didn't give us anything else. The third one is when they started to build on each other. Like the third one is really where everything starts, because then the fourth one starts where the third one left off, and they continue to build from there. These ones don't do that. This is the only one that doesn't fucking matter.
See, I look at the first two as a whole.
And that's your problem, because they're not. They're two different things.
They're two different things, sure, but again, they're both set up books, in my opinion, for the whole world. This gives us the background. That way, when we get the Horcruxes, we're not like, what? We didn't hear about this? Like your whole Whomping Willow theory. You're upset that we didn't get the Whomping Willow in the first book. How would you feel about getting Horcruxes in the 6th book and 7th book, and we're like, we've never even heard of anything like that?
We didn't. Got that diary. We didn't hear of anything like that. She literally have to tell us this was a Horcrux, not that was a Horcrux. We figured it out.
Yeah, but Dumbledore knew, and Dumbledore had in the 4th one makes hints of knowing stuff is a Horcrux before Harry ever knows. Harry doesn't know about Horcruxes until the 6th one.
Like what? He doesn't hint that there are Horcruxes.
There's a line in the 4th one when Voldemort comes back in the book where Voldemort, Dumbledore literally realizes that something else is going on. He realized when the blood was combined that there are Horcruxes. He talked about that. I think you're giving J.K. Rowling a little credit. I think she knows what's up.
I don't think she knows what she's talking about. I think she had one too many bottles of wine. It was like, fuck, I forgot to write a second book, but I wrote 8 others. I should probably go back and write that.
That'd be really funny, though. She's like, oh, shit. Something needs to go in here.
She probably wrote it and then accidentally deleted the whole thing and was like, well, I guess I need to rewrite it now.
Okay, that is the worst feeling ever. You write something and you're like, that was gold. And you knew every line was perfect, and then you have to rewrite it, something went wrong, and you're like, you just can't remember the exact words you used.
Yeah, that happens in the podcast all the time. I really wish the fans knew how many times we accidentally deleted shit. Part of what makes us so good at what we do is that we drink so much while we do it. That's also our biggest downfall, is that we drink so much while we do it.
If only the fans knew what we went through for Fantastic Beasts.
We had to do that fucking thing like 4 times.
That last 45 minutes.
Yeah, we made the last 45 minutes of that movie take 3 hours.
See, the easy answer would be like, hey, stop drinking when you do these. My answer to them is, fuck you.
Yeah, trust me when I say you guys don't want us doing these sober.
Yeah, I would be like, why are we watching this movie?
I wouldn't even know what to do.
What do I do with my hands?
I don't know what to do with my hands. Honestly, at this point, I'm over this movie. They could just end it right here. But instead, you've got to explain. Now, this is...
this is important.
It's important, but is it important? It's not that important.
It is important. He uses it. The fact that the sword gets some basilisk blood on there. That means it can kill Horcruxes. This is huge.
Well, not only that, but it's also it came to him, and it's because he's Godric Gryffindor's descendant or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, but we learned that the sword can take in any power, so it just took in the power to kill Horcruxes. So that is.
Sounds convenient. Sounds convenient. It's like, I need something that can kill a Horcrux. Oh, I guess I can just use this sword because conveniently the sword can absorb anything.
And why is that a bad thing? A writer has the power to do that. That is the writer's freedom.
It doesn't build on anything. It's just convenient.
I want you to write a 7-page book, 7-part book, and be like,
I can definitely write a 7-page book. I can write a 7-page book.
You know what? I do want you to write a 7-page book.
I'll write a 7-page book.
Write a 7-page book, send it to me, and then we're going to read it on air.
We'll do that.
I will pay you $10 to do this.
You don't have $10.
Yeah, probably not. But I still want it to happen.
You can take $10 off my tab. I owe you like $14,000 for legal fees.
Please do it. I want you to call it the first ever 7-page book.
The 7-page epic.
I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to find like true love. Like I want everything.
Oh, it'll be everything. It's a fantasy action romantic comedy.
I'm excited for it. Every page.
Thriller horror film book.
You can also tell how frail Richard Harris is here.
I know.
Like,
he really looks like he looked bad in the first one, but he looks really bad in this one.
Yeah, the fact that he dies, like a couple weeks before the premiere?
Yeah, that's rough. I think that his replacement was...
and the rest is CGI. What's that?
I think that who they got to replace him was fantastic. I think that was the perfect direction to go.
People hate it because of the manner in which, like, he delivers that line in Goblet of Fire, like, "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" when the book is says calmly. But again, that's not on him. That's on the director.
It's on the writing. That's on the director. Yeah, I agree with
I don't like when people blame actors for that kind of stuff. They're doing what they're told to do. Jason Isaacs like spicy right here. You don't gotta kick him, bro. Also, you think Dobby would be used to that kind of abuse?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Dobby's kind of a bitch. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into here.
Slavery?
Yeah, like you're born into it. I mean, I'm not saying I condone any of it. I'm just saying, like, you know what's up. You got a roof over your head.
God, that's the worst thing anyone's ever said on this pod.
Really?
That's pretty bad.
I don't know. I just think he's being kind of a bitch about it.
I do like this power play right here with the sock.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's cool.
And I did like the fact that Dobby didn't just wasn't one character. He comes back to be a huge character.
He is a very, very big character, and I think that's great.
His one-on-one with Creature in the seventh one. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen really in the movies, but in the books, I mean, it's crazy between him and Creature and everything that goes on.
And that's why I think that they chose Dobby to be a throwaway character, and they only bring in him in the movies when it's convenient or they have to. But they didn't do a good job of conveying the significance of who Dobby is.
Really fast. He's about to Avada Kedavra him. Like, seriously, watch his lips here.
Yeah, he was about to kill him. That's true.
Straight up trying to kill Harry Potter in Hogwarts in broad daylight. Like, dude, that is not the way to commit a crime.
Yeah, but that's kind of a baller move, too, to just have the confidence to do that.
Yeah, I mean...
I think he does a fantastic job in the fifth one. I know that we keep saying it's really hard not to talk about the other ones.
Yeah,
these ones because these ones honestly aren't very good. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite story.
That book is iconic to me.
It is my favorite book.
Yeah, gosh, I hate to say it on this podcast, but you know why? So it was the first book she wrote where she was on welfare when she wrote Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, this is the first one that she had money.
And it was the first one she had money and security, but it was also before Harry Potter had exploded.
Yeah. So
she wasn't under this fame and pressure. So it was this perfect middle where she finally had some comfort, but wasn't this massive pressure. And why she said for always Prisoner of Azkaban will be the best book she wrote. So this ending here is so fucking corny.
I can't stand it. It's stupid.
I remember as an 11 or 12-year-old I was 13 when this came out. I don't know. 13, 14 maybe when the movie came out, not the book. I remember even at that age
Cody, this is fucking stupid.
No, you know why that happened, the handshake?
Why?
that's literally because Ron and Emma Watson and Rupert Grint couldn't hug.
Why couldn't they hug?
They were that awkward around each other, being that age. And they filmed it multiple times with them hugging, and it was just that bad. That's actually a fun fact. Like,
okay? Later on, obviously they spend a lot of time together. Like, somebody hooked up with Hermione?
Yeah, 100%.
Who do you think did or did it first?
I bet Ron and Hermione for sure.
No, dude, it's got to be Tom Felton. Malfoy and Hermione?
Yeah, I see. I thought you were meaning between the three of them.
No. I just mean anybody on set.
Yeah, Tom Felton's probably the best looking one.
He really is.
I just love that. That's actually a true fact that Rupert Grint and Emma Watson at that stage tried hugging, and it was so awkward between them that they literally couldn't put it in the movie, so they had them handshake because it was that bad.
So funny. I did not know that.
Yeah. That's the only reason that handshake scene was in there. Okay, this is, like, again, 13-year-old me, like, cringed so fucking hard in the movie. It is so bad. This whole Hagrid
reunion, I know.
Like, I mean, I get it, but his name is cleared. I understand. But yeah.
Again, I think that it's like, oh, you're just the gamekeeper or the keeper of keys or wherever you are. And then you get sent to jail. Granted, it wasn't for something you did.
It says his name was cleared from 50 years ago, from something he got expelled for.
Okay. But now, in the next one, all of a sudden, you're going to do that, plus you're going to be a teacher.
Yeah, no, that's just Dumbledore being an idiot.
Yeah, like, that's just bad staffing decisions. I think it's dumb.
I mean, but again, you just saw he hired Gilderoy Lockhart. I mean, we talked about that, about the Professor
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I was over this movie about 2 hours ago.
That's good. That means you made it literally half an hour in.
Yeah. I guess.
Oh, it's over now, so you can be happy. This
slow clap here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. I don't know. It's just so badly. I think you can get away with it in the first one because it's the first.
This isn't an 80s film or early 90s film. You don't need to do this.
All the chin.
Fucking Chris Columbus coming to. Good riddance, man.
Yeah.
That was actually funny, but other than that. All right, well, I think that's basically it. We made it.
And okay, so basically, Hagrid's the janitor, right? More or less. He's worse than the janitor.
Filch is the janitor.
So he's like even lower than the janitor, but yet everybody in the fucking school is like, oh, we love this guy. He's not even like hot janitor.
It's not because it's because his name was cleared from a crime he didn't commit.
I think that's dumb.
I mean, I agree. I hate this part of the movie. But
I think it's absolutely stupid.
We made it though. Brian Banner, we made it through your least favorite Harry Potter movie.
I guess
we did it. Now it's clear skies.
I guess. I mean, that's an hour and 15 minutes. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm never getting back.
An hour and 15 minutes. It's been 2.5 hours.
It's just however long it's been. I'm never getting that back, and that sucks for me.
Well, that's good, man. But don't worry now. We got just great movies.
Yeah, good news is we can only go from here.
Yep, that's it. We got through the two toughest Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We got some credits here. Christopher Columbus.
I'm sure you're gonna criticize the credits too.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer other credits because like there's like the next one they use the Marauders map, and the one after that it's the stuff out of the Goblet of Fire. Like it's not just this plain Jane stupid. Yeah, Mark Radcliffe, executive producer, right there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Cycly, any final thoughts on the Chamber of Secrets itself?
I will concede 100% that this is probably the worst movie of the
You can't concede and then say probably.
Okay, because I go back and forth between the first and second.
You have to pick.
Okay, fine. I'll say this. It's probably the worst movie of the 8, But I will still say the second book is better than the first book.
I think you are drunk.
I think you're drunk.
Yeah, but
I don't think either of us are wrong on.
But let's think about the statement here. When am I not drunk?
When are you not on Gilly Water? Do you have my question to you is, do you have any redeeming quality about this movie? Anything you actually liked? Because I think the acting is good.
No, the acting is horrible.
Radcliffe.
No, the acting is horrible. The flashback scene where they go back 50 years to Voldemort as a kid and he accuses Hagrid, I think that scene is really good. I think the set piece in the Chamber of Secrets is really good, even though it's totally unrealistic for the snake to be able to get through the fucking pipes because it's such a big snake and such little pipes.
Hey, rewatch that scene when Harry.
But yeah, other than those two things, I think there is not a single thing positive to say about this movie.
Well, I'll just say this: we're on to the next one, and it goes up from here.
Yep, we're on to the next one. Probably the best story and one of the better movies in Prisoner of Azkaban. So if you guys are listening to this, keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. We have been the Bro4 Squad podcast. You guys can check us out on Twitter at Bro4 Squad. Give us a like on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button here on YouTube, as well as subscribe to us on iTunes. Go ahead and leave us a review. If you do that, we'll definitely talk about you, whether it's on pod or not off pod. I mean, it's going to happen.
We'll gossip about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it, so, you might as well. Everything that we have is posted at www.bro4squad.com. Till next time, you gotta make sure you get the dot in there. I kind of wish we would have spelled dot out on our website. I think it would have been funny. Like,
please do it.
Bro4squad.com.
I'm sure it's available.
Yeah, it's got to be out there. Nobody's stupid enough to actually take that domain name.
I am.
You are. I think that's everything. For our legal counsel himself, Ronnie Cycli, I'm the mad scientist, Brian Banner, and we will see you guys next time as we go to year 3 at Hogwarts. Don't even try and make me feel better. It's still a bad movie.
I'm not trying to make you feel better. I mean, I don't think it's a bad movie overall. I think it's bad Harry Potter. You're bad. Oh, that was good.